There's still 30 seconds to go, but sod it, I'll go early. Woohoo! So, a couple of things before we kick off into this. First and foremost, Robert Colson, thank you very, very much for becoming a member. That's absolutely fantastic. I don't know what to say. I'm just over the moon. Really, really, really fantastic stuff. And wow. Wow, there's a delay on YouTube. I haven't put a delay in. That's like really weird. I'm out of frame. Why am I out of frame? Camera, move. Yeah. Right. Good. Secondly, kerfuffles. Couple of things. Anybody who wants to hate onto kerfuffles, life's a bitch, because he's my mod and I'm going to stick by him. So hate on him as much as you like, because he ain't going anywhere. Simple as that. He does a good job. He does it. He gives up his free time to do this. He doesn't get paid. He does it because he's a very kind guy. So fuck you all. Stop hating on kerfuffles. Simple as that. Because you'll have me to deal with. And anybody who hates on kerfuffles, seriously, I'll kick you off the channel. There's no need for it. He's a good lad. Simple. And nobody should feel that they have to back off into a corner because they're getting hate just for being a mod. I mean, for Christ's sake. If you think you can do a better job, send me a PM. Seriously. DM me. Tell me that you can do a much better job than kerfuffles can do. I'll listen to your argument and then I'll tell you. Then I'll make a decision. You'll either become one or you won't become one. Simple. But hey, kerfuffles is going nowhere. He ain't getting. He wanted to drop out being a mod, and I don't agree with it. So I'm glad you've come to the conclusion you've come to. Okay, mate. Nice. Glad you're staying with us. So those are the two important things completely out of the way. Right. What else have we got? Oh, that's. Exactly, Todd Joe. Whoever it is, seriously, guys, if you're hating on kerfuffles for no reason, if you've got an issue with kerfuffles or whatever, then there are other YouTube channels that you're more than happy to sort of piss off to and go and watch them. I really don't give a shit. Simple fact of life. You know, if you don't like it, you don't have to stay here, guys. Seriously, kerfuffles is going nowhere. End of. Yeah, I know. I wanted to be muted for those two. I know I'm muted. Right. I'm no longer muted. I wanted to get those two out of the way without you muppets interfering. Anyway, I'm no longer muted. But I can't hear you two, strangely.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can hear you. Let me just sort this out so I can see that you're actually talking properly. Say something. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Right, what have we got to go through today? Well, Battle Pass. There's a Battle Pass coming up as of... Say again?
The store first, no?
Yeah, we'll do that, but what are we going to be talking to today? We're going to be talking about Battle Passes, we're going to be talking about the Blitz Cup. Oh, shit, we're going to be talking about a load of stuff that's going to go on in November. So let's go to the store first and see what's there. Oh, containers. Fucking hell, containers. So, you get 2 mad tanks. Your call, up to you. 1,500, you probably won't get a tank. But you might do. And you might get a smasher, you might get a grave digger, you might get a Frankenstein, or you might get a scavenger. Or, you may not, and you'll just get a load of boosters. Which is what happened to me. But, there we go. The thing is, it's up to you guys. I mean... look, the Gravedigger, the Tankenstein and the Scavenger, for all intents and purposes, were free of charge. Okay, they were event tanks. The Smasher wasn't. Okay, but if you're trying your luck just to get a Smasher, then wow, it's difficult to get one. Let me put it that way. It does say the drop chance is 10%, but I've heard, not officially, but I've heard from other people. Not officially, mind you, that for the Smasher it's a bit less than that. So, your call. We've got the Badger for 20,000 gold, which is still in the store. I mean, we talked about it yesterday. Oh, look. Mimofo got it yesterday. Well done, congratulations. What, you get it in the first or the second crate, or did you spend more money? Be interested to know. So the Badger's in the store, 20,000. It is a tier 10. It's a collector. It's okay. It's quite a good TD, to be fair. I mean, personally, that should have been the TD tech tree, and the 183 should have been the collector, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that's what they did on PC.
Yeah, it should have been that way. There you go. Robert is saying that the dropped rate is below 5%. It does say 10%, but I think that, I don't know myself.
I think they are just playing with the numbers. There's a 10% chance to get a tank, and it's like 3% smasher, 7% grave digger.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. As I said, I don't know officially, but I understand that you're right there. That there's a 10% drop chance of a tank, but not a particular tank. So it's not 10% you're going to get the smasher, or 10% the grave digger, etc., etc. There's 10% you will get a tank, and that could be a scavenger. So. So yeah, Economics Mate is completely correct there. None of these crates are really worth it. He opened $65 worth because he needs to be shot, and got Jack all. He needs to be shot doubly. More eco, more for you. Bless. How you doing? So yeah, but the Badger. I mean, as I said, I would have preferred that to have been the Tech Tree tank, and the 183 to be the collector. That would have been. It would have made more sense, to be honest with you. It's not a bad tank. It's 20,000 gold, but what are you getting for that? Well, you're getting, firstly, the legendary, the camo and the royal treatment attachment. That alone is going to cost you about 4,000 gold, realistically. So if you've got the tank already, and then you want to get those attachments, that's going to cost you about 4,000 gold. So in real terms, the tank's worth 16,000 gold. Then you get the equipment unlocked. Now the equipment for a tier 10 is quite a lot of credits. So I'd say there's another 1,000 gold for the credits worth maybe. So you're getting a tank for 15,000
way
gold.
more, way more.
Way more? Who's that? Oh, that's Vermilio. He would know, he's unlocked a lot of equipment on tier 10. So yeah, it's probably, yeah, you're right, probably a lot more. So
It's like 2 million of...
yeah, it's about 2 million credits, isn't it? Yeah, which is about what, 2,000, 2,500, something like that. So you're realistically getting a tier 10 tank when you break it all down for about 15,000, 14,000 gold, which, to be honest with you, is worth a look at, especially when I scroll down and you can get the fantastic T2020 for 12,500. A tier 20, a tier 8 POS. That piece of shit, for those of you who don't know. It's not a great tank, to be honest with you. I don't think it is. I mean, what do you get? You get a tank, you get the equipment, you get certificates. Guys, it's 12,500 for a tier 8 heavy.
Just get team offer.
Well, exactly. It's not like there isn't another tier 8 heavy that looks like that. I mean, I'm thinking maybe IS3, IS5, IS3 Defender. The list is endless.
Just generally, just get the Dream Team offer.
The Dream Team offer, I was about to click onto that, but I just wanted to point out that, you're going to get a tier 10 TD, which is not a bad TD, for when you calculate all the bits that's coming with, for about 14,000 gold, where you're getting a tier 8 heavy POS here for 12,500. Again, your call. Dream Team is much better, 12,500, and you get 3 tanks. 3. And they're all tier 8, so that's 3 tier 8s for the price of 1 tier 8. And look, you get a Chieftain T95, that's a heavy tank. You get
with
a Type... Yeah, with the camo. You get the Type 59, which is a medium, and you get the SU 130, which is quite a good tank, to be fair. And you're getting all the equipment unlocked. You're getting the legendary camos, and you get the garage slots, and you get 3 tanks for the price of 1 tier 8 POS.
And they one at that.
Like I said, I mean, it's not like there isn't another version similar to this tank. I mean, what we got? What's it look like? It looks like an IS5 with a bit more armor. Yeah, maybe. Or it looks like a WZ. with a bit more armor. Yeah, maybe. I mean, basically, it's got the stock ST1 turret, I believe.
Yeah, but weakened.
But weakened, exactly. So seriously, guys, if you got 12,500 gold to spare, don't get the T20. Get the Dream Team. Okay, it's a much better call. And then you've got the tanks again, but without all the equipment and everything unlocked, etc., etc. And then we've still got the season coins tanks down there. And then look at this avatar container, 100 gold. You know it makes sense. You really do. Absolutely. You know, if you're not buying avatar containers, there's something wrong with you. Moving over to bundles, we've still got the Lycan, the housing, the Drac containers. Now, look, a word of warning here. I tried my hand at the Drac on my Asian account, and it says, if you've got to read it very carefully, the drop chance for the tank is 5%. The drop chance for the camo for the tank is 10%. Now, I got 2 camos for the Drac and no Drac. Yeah. When I bought the bundle. So, the other thing, it's 25 charms. Now, 25 charms works out to $100, roughly. And it did cost me $100 to get the Drac. Because I'm an idiot. So, be careful, guys, with this one. It's lovely to have one of these tanks. And if you're going to go for... I mean, any of them are good enough to go for. But it is expensive. Because it's really playing your luck on this one, guys. Really playing your luck. So, your call. And then we've still got all the containers. Then you got the full moon containers, which includes 3 Dracs, 3 housing, and 3 Lycan containers. But again, you know, it's in miss. So they're really pushing the Drac and everything. Then you've got the nimble platoon. You can have a Tetrarch and a T1E6 if you really want to. Tier 2 tanks. Hello, yes, Vanilio.
What I love about the crate ship is that a lot of people are buying a lot of them and spending too much money.
Yeah, absolutely.
And me, I got the T95, the tier 8 one, the pretty good one.
Yeah.
I got in the first Scorpion crate or something like that, I believe.
Yeah, no, some people are lucky. Some people are lucky. But what I say to people with crates is, look, they're part of the game. But set yourself a target, guys. Don't just buy the crates until you get the tank, because you'll spend a lot of money on it. So, you know, if you want to spend a bit of money, seriously, then for what, $2, get a Drac container. If you get the Drac, lovely. Or maybe for, I don't know, what is that? That's $5. Get 2 Drac containers. And if you get the tank, great. If you don't get the tank, cut your losses there. Don't be fooled by the charms. The charms are great. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad Wargaming brought charms in, so people aren't spending $500, $600, $700, which has happened in the past, on getting crates. But seriously, if you're going to do it, set yourself a limit. Don't come back whinging to people. Nobody can tell you how you spend your money, but just be careful. Seriously. And then we've got, what else we've got? Yeah, the nimble platoon. So, you know, if you're a seal clubber and you haven't got these tanks, well, there you go. Lovely. Good for tank collectors. Pyralium trailers are still in the store, despite the fact the event's finished. But hey. But you can get a Pyralium trailer. It's, the event's finished, so nothing much will happen with it. Then you got the reliable T7s. I mean, the T28 HTC is a great tank. Not so much the Panther M10. The AT-15, again, is a good tank. The M6A2E1 is not as good as the experimental, but it's okay. So,
It's decent.
It's decent, yeah. But, I mean, if you're going to get any of those guys, then firstly, look in your tanks tab. Because the AT-15 you can get for gold, I believe. So, just be mindful of that. Don't get the Panther M10. It's a horrendous tank. When they buffed the Panther, they completely forgot about the M10. Robert, you said, what tier 8 in the shop would I recommend? Oh, well, looking at the tier 8s that are in there, personally, if you like your mediums, I'd get the Type 59. It's a great little tank. Type 59 is a beautiful little tank. So, there we go. Oh, I got a container. Might as well open the container while I'm here. And look at that, I've got a Battlestar Avatar, XP, credits, 100,000, that's nice. Boosters. Boosters. So, as I said, look, the Prorolium thing is, it finishes in like 22 hours, so there's no point. But you're cool, up to you, and I'm probably not going to play in the next 22 hours, so I could unlock that level and get that tank and get some cash. I don't know yet. I'm in two minds. Aside from that, we have a new battle pass coming. Operation Off the Grid, which will get you this little tank. It's like it's basically a VK28, which is nice, but it's a little bit more. It's got a bit of steroids on it. I can't remember what it's called now. Oh, and you get the AMX 40 as well, which is interesting. Agent, that's what it's called. Agent. So it's basically the VK that you get at tier 6. And I mean, the VK is lovely, and this one's going to be similar, just a little bit more steroids. You know, it is based on the VK 28. It's a tier 6 as well, so it's not tier 7, which it's basically the same kind of tank, but just rehashed. But I do believe it's going to be on steroids. So it's going to be like the BP-44, Razor, and the Thunder. Same, but different, as they say in Thailand. So something to look forward to. It's going to be good. Again, it's probably not going to cost an arm and a leg. It's going to be about what? About $10 roughly for the battle pass. Which, again, for what you get in it, when you think about it, you spend 10 grand, you spend $10 and you can get a shed load of gold, a shed load of credits, a shed load of XP, avatars, boosters, 2 tanks. I mean, there's 3,000 gold, 4.1 million credits, 100,000 XP, 10 days of premium, 1, 2, 3, 4 camos, special avatars, 10 times 5 per boosters, and then a load of other boosters, plus your screen thingy. I mean, that's not bad. All you need to do to unlock all those is play the game. That's not a bad deal, to be fair. If it's only about 5 to 10, yeah, it's about $5, is it, Yusuf? So if it's not that expensive, seriously, for the amount of bump you're getting, it's worth it. Well, I think it is anyway. It's worth having a look at it. And you get a tier 4 and a tier 5, a tier 4 and a tier 6 tank to boot. So, yeah. So, that's nice. It is nice. So that's coming. That will start soon. Tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow that will kick off. So, that'll be okay. Something to look forward to. Then, kicking off next weekend, we have the Blitz Cup. Starts with the Asia server. It starts Friday, Saturday coming. So it's next weekend. Massive amount of things going on. Wild Ones Halper is in Discord. He is going to be doing official commentary for the Asia server on the final day with Amunet. And he will be doing commentary on the first day, which is going to be a Friday, through his own channel, and Amunet will be doing through her own channel, and there'll be some analysts as well in the background, etc, etc. So that all kicks off this weekend. Maddox is also in the chat. He's one of the captains of one of the teams, Feast, who are odds-on favourite for the Asian Blitz Cup, to be fair. So, wow, it's going to be good. You know, I hope you guys are looking forward to it.
By the way, Fugit,
Huh?
FTC is falling apart.
Oh, well, there you go. We'll talk about that in a minute. Just so Jack, are you looking forward to it?
Oh, yeah. God.
As long as he gets his graphics card and drivers working in time, yeah, he's looking forward to it.
No, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's working fine already. I mean, you saw
Absolutely,
yesterday's.
yeah. I'm winding you up. I'm ripping into you after your Asian community tour. Bless him.
Yeah.
We spent like an hour and a half after the tournament yesterday in Jack. You could physically hear the steam coming out of his ears as he was trying to work out what was going wrong. And of course,
Yeah. I figured it out, and yeah, it's fine. It's just everything's fine.
absolutely great. So
Yeah.
so you're kicking off on Friday next week with Asia day 1.
Yeah.
And then you're doing the official wargaming stream, the commentary on day 2, along with Amunet.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And obviously Maddox is there. And Maddox, are you looking forward to it? Ping notwithstanding.
Yeah, I guess we're looking forward to it. Nothing special going on, I guess. So.
Maddox, you're really quiet. And my
I'll turn him up. Don't worry.
Okay. But yeah, like we've been training here and there just to prepare for this stuff. So definitely looking forward to see how the games goes.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we don't get counter-strated so quick.
Mm. Absolutely. So all those on the chat, I mean, Asia, I mean, I know a lot of you aren't on the Asian server, etc., but that's not the point. The point is, it's the pro tourneys, guys, across all servers, and there's no excuse not to watch them. So
Yeah.
Friday kicks off with Asia. That's the first one, followed by RUCIS a week later, followed by EU a week after that, and finally bringing up the rear is NA at the end of November. So great. Guys, seriously, these tournaments are going to be absolutely unbelievable.
Yep.
It's basically a twister with a twist. So they're not offlines. They are server dependent, and you are going to see, basically the top 4 clans across all those servers really, really battling it out. It's going to be fantastic, edge of your seat type stuff. Hopefully, really, really, really can't overemphasize it. And I'm not saying that just because I'm commentating, but seriously, I mean, people have watched the Blitz Cup qualifiers. They watch Prove Your Skill in the Ascents. Well, this is the culmination of all of that, and there's a lot up for grabs, big prizes to be had. So seriously, guys, you're going to see the best of the best of the best rolling out on their servers. There's no excuse not to watch. Seriously, there really isn't. What do you think, Jack?
Oh, what do I think? No, I'm just writing up an analysis in the in the forum for Asia server first, and then I'll write it up for CIS, EU, and NA.
See, this is what we have to
I've
deal with.
written out
That's what we have to deal
a
with.
lot of stuff. So you would be definitely excited about the game. So just
I am, yeah.
telling you what's going to happen.
Excellent. So basically the way it works is on the first day, which is a Friday. The reason it's Friday, it was meant to be Saturday, Sunday, but they had to change it because unless you've been living under a rock, Belarus is experiencing some political turmoil at the moment, and their internet is very unstable on a Sunday. So that's why they've changed it to Friday and Saturday, to be perfectly honest with you. And thankfully the teams were very understanding. So that was good. So basically what's going to happen, this is the same for all the servers. On the Friday, the streamers will be streaming their own dedicated streams. So we go on to Asia. Amunet will be streaming on her channel, and Jack, aka Wild Ones Alpha, will be streaming on his channel. And I can't remember who else there is. Is it Timo Shinjan?
Is every not streaming?
We don't know yet. I think.
No, I don't think we don't know the local.
Yeah. And then I think there is one. From
Well, I'll tell you now who's going to be streaming what, because it's almost all public knowledge now. So here we go. So basically, we have on Asia, there are going to be 2 Russian streamers. That is No Skill Just Look, who's a commentator, and Tortic, who's commentating, with Maflodi and GSR 1989 as the guest analysts. That is going to be on. This is the Saturday, by the way. This is the finals, the official stream days. English commentary for Asia will be Amunet and Wild Ones Halper, with myself and the Hong Kong CC, who I don't know who that's going to be at the moment, as the analytics and the guest. On the Friday, you will probably get all 4 of those streaming individually on their own streams, but I don't know yet, and I'll have to get back to you on that. Now, a week later, we have RU server, or CIS, and it's No Skill Just Look and Tortic are commentating together, with Pyroblast and Maflodi as the analytics and the guest. For the English side of the RU CIS server, it's Every Good Name Is Taken and myself will be dual commentating, with Jack, Wild Ones Helper, and Amunet as the guest and as the analyst. So that'll be nice. On EU, it's again No Skill Just Look and Tortic doing the RU, with Pyroblast and GSR doing analytics and guest. With myself and Amunet dual commentating, with Every and Wild Ones Helper as the analysts. And then for NA, again, No Skill Just Look and Tortic, the Russian commentators, GSR and Mefodi as the analytics, with Fishy and Droodles as the dual commentators, and I Rakanon and Scumbag Juju as the guests.
Actually, they probably are finding a new one too. I mean, because I think he's playing, so that's why they probably will find a new one.
Oh, is Iraq playing? Is he? Oh, there you go. I think so. May not be the analyst.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
So,
that's
unless I'm wrong. Unless
Yeah.
I got it wrong.
But that's going to be the lineups of the commentators. I thought Rib was streaming.
I think Rib is doing that. It's streaming. Yeah.
Rib is streaming, but he's doing it in German. So,
Yeah.
but Rib is definitely streaming, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, he is. He's doing it on EU. Rib is definitely streaming EU, and he's also streaming CIS. So yeah, Rib is definitely streaming. So that's what we're going to be having. Ta-da! Oh, I completely forgot to start doing the replays. That's my bad. Right, so that's where we're at with that, which is good. And it's going to be great fun. I mean, as I said, it's going to be a really, really interesting November, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, the tournaments are going to be massive. Hello, Rado. Hello, Razor. Hello, Pamuchni. Hello, Exabyte. Yeah, it's going to be great stuff. Great stuff. So, what else has been going on? Other than, I don't know if you caught Friday night with Wild yesterday, and it was wild. Some poor sod on Winter Malinovka in a 183 was very upset. Incredibly upset. Really took exception to Amunet killing him for some strange non-known reason. And really took, I mean, I'm talking about really took exception. He also had a dig at Jack, don't know why. I mean, Jack bounced to 183 side on. Don't know how, but it happens, I guess.
Did I?
Yeah, you did. It was either that or you missed. One of the two. Which one was it? It's up to you to call this one.
I forgot, but I kept on blaming IS7's gun, but
You did blame the gun, to be fair. You did blame the gun. You did say, "Oh, the gun is so bad." when I don't think it was the gun. I think because I watched the reticle come down, and I'm pretty sure it bounced off the side of a 183. Yes, you heard me correctly. The side of a 183.
I think Jack was tired at that time because he couldn't aim.
what was
I'm tired of fixing the video drive issue. I
Yeah.
got it fixed in the end yesterday. So
Yes.
the thing that I liked about yesterday's stream though with Jack? I mean, it was fantastic. They went out on what's the bloody Yamata Harbour, and they were going out to me. Hi, Shao Magnet. They're out on Yamata Harbour, and to be fair, Jack, I'm loving your excuses, man. I'm writing them all down. And Jack said, I'm going to try and go for the middle. And then he died. And Amunet said, you died early. Yeah, well, it was your fault.
I didn't say it's her fault.
You did. You actually said, well, I went there to help you. And I died because of you. It was fantastic. So I've written that one down. Blame Amunet for everything. Followed by blame Gun on everything. And then there was another one, and I have to admit there was a bit of ping. There was a bit of ping for Jack, but they were on they're on Port Bay, and he was seriously. You couldn't pen the IS-4 frontally like that. And it was so bad. I had to say, use your aimbot. It was hilarious to watch. So funny. And Jack's got all. Seriously, if you need excuses for the game, go and watch that stream last night. Write down the excuses that Jack comes out with. You can use them in every possible scenario. Seriously, it's brilliant. Russian bias, Russian gun, driver's drunk, ping, Amunet's fault. Absolutely great.
You think he's running out of excuses at this point?
He's getting low, I must admit, he is getting low. it's
From the bottom of the barrel.
It was, seriously guys, get over and watch that stream, it was fantastic. Really was good fun. And I must admit, I do love all those excuses. And as you saw there, Vermilio getting a 3rd class in an IS-4. Yeah, he's going to be happy I showed that.
I got 4K block damage in that 3 versus 1.
He did get 4K block damage. I'm going to show you a replay in a moment of Jack going out in a Badger, by the way. It's quite good fun.
Oh, yeah. I remember. Yeah.
It's quite
I don't
good.
know. I thought I would be suffering with TDs because this is actually my first TD in tier 10.
Really?
Yes.
Gosh. So Yusuf's asking me, what's my favourite tank? Well, it's a mouse. I love the mouse. Absolutely love the mouse. It's quite interesting. I mean, on the NA server, firstly, congratulations Exabyte for joining Void. On the NA server, I'm a member of GMA, which is one of the top 4 clans. I'm a token member, okay, because I'm a YouTuber, that's it. But I was invited to go out with Rival in a tier 10 tour. So I thought, yeah, I'll do that. I'll go out with Rival in a tier 10 tour. Unbeknown to me, I've only got 1 tier 10 heavy on my NA account, which happens to be the VK90, which is not the best tank to go out in a tour. And it's when you start doing things like that you start missing the tanks that really do make up the meta, like the IS-4 and the E5 and all that sort of stuff. And it's actually quite difficult if you don't have the right tanks going into a tour. It actually is quite traumatic at the best of times. So if you're going to grind tanks and you want to do tours, look for the tanks that are being used in tours. Don't do what I did and get a VK90. It just doesn't work.
I have almost 20 tier 10s,
Mhm.
and out of those 20, I think only 3 are actually usable for tournaments.
Oh really?
Every time I grind the line, I just do a wrong one. So the only ones that I think I can actually use are the IS-4,
Yeah.
STB, the 268.
Oh, the STB is a great tank. Oh, hello, Team Trouble. How you doing, my friend? Yeah, the STB is a great tank. I love that. But yeah, I really do miss on the NA server the tanks that you would need to do tours. It's It's a shame, really, because I'd like to do. I mean, I'm doing a lot of tour streams at the moment, and I'm really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. And as I noticed, Kerfuffle was saying earlier, he's just got the 263. That's a great tank, by the way. It's fantastic. And once you get used to it, Kerfuffles, you'll have barrels of fun in it. It's just a mad tank. Yusef, I've got your smasher. Don't worry. It's a mad tank. It's brilliant. But you've got to get used to it, and you've got to get used to the fact that as a TD, you're not really meant to YOLO, but in that thing, you're sort of meant to YOLO. It's bizarre. Love that tank. But no, in answer to your question, Yusuf, my favourite tank is the Moose. I do like the mouse.
I think I would hate it though.
I like it, but then I mean, it's quite. I mean, I say that. I mean, there's quite a few. I mean, I used to hate, and to an extent, I still hate in random mode the E5. I just don't get on with that tank in random gameplay.
E5.
Yeah, I just don't get on with it.
What you saying?
Yeah, exactly. However, in tournaments, I love it. I think it's like my go-to tournament tank. I love that tank in tournaments. I think it's fantastic. But I just don't get on with it in random mode. Don't know why. It's very strange. And, you know, I like playing the IS-4 in tournaments as well. That's quite nice. And the 113. And then I rolled out in a tournament, only a quick tour the other day, with... I've just played that replay. Why did I play that game? That's me being stupid. I rolled out with Imor in a tournament, and they put me in a Kranwagen, which was fantastic. I loved it. It was great. Can be really effective in a Kranwagen, by the way, in a tournament. If there's a couple of you. Of course you can, Yusuf. You don't need to ask permission, mate. So what's your favourite tank, Wild Ones Helper? Might as well go through the list now. Favourite tanks?
Oof. I don't know. I think I would choose T62A because it's a really strong tank.
Mm-hmm.
Like the mobility and also the gun was so good, so good. DPM is also brilliant as well. It's kind of like the tank that yeah. I mean, you kind of have to be on heavy tilt in order to play it bad. I believe. Yeah. Then yeah, but then. Yeah, I would have said T22 as well, but then it's pay to win, and then it's also like the gun is also not as impressive as the T62A, but I like the armor.
Okay, jolly good. Yeah. The deal for real, are you staying muted, or are you going to tell us what your favourite tank is? Probably staying muted. We'll get back to him. Oh, no, there we go. He's unmuted now. Woohoo!
Now we're going to the next one.
Come on then, dude.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so unfortunately, I think you're talking about tier 10 only.
No, any tank in the game.
Oh, any tank.
Well,
yeah.
Mine comes from different reasons because currently I don't have a favorite tier 10 because I can't play any of them long enough to pick one. But I would have to say IS-5.
Okay.
What?
Another tank I don't get on with.
I hate it.
Okay, here's why. Wargaming has forced me into it. Number one, as a free-to-play player, it's the first affordable tank. It's 1,500 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Number two is a tier 8 premium. It's the only tank for that design, tier 8 premium, I mean. That you can play and effectively play over and over and earn credits to continue playing. Other tanks you can't afford to play because you either lose credits or just you can't afford to get them. So for me, it has been the IS-5 because it's quite literally one of my only options.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fair enough. I have a love-hate relationship with the IS-5. It just loves to hate me. It's as simple as that. I just don't really get on with the IS-5. And those of you who've been on streams with me, you'll know that I have a very big love-hate relationship with the IS-5. I just find the penetration so frustrating. Unbelievably frustrating. No matter how well you aim, the Russian gunner is always drunk in my tank on vodka, clearly seeing triple whatever he's looking at down the sights, and never aims for the one in the middle. So, but it's got great trolley armor. Oh, absolutely, Shall. I'm with you on that. I just don't get on with that gun.
Isn't it good when a Russian gun is drunk, normally?
Only if they aim it for the middle tank, but my guy seems to aim for the tank that's like on the left all the time and completely misses. So, bloody annoying. So anyway, Team Trouble's dropped in. So Team Trouble, I know you're muted, but what's your favourite tank? No, he's going to stay muted. So we move to Maddox. Come on then, Maddox.
Wait, before you continue, you
Hang on a minute, you're going to change your opinion now?
Yeah, because you said not just tier 10, but I remember before my all-time favorite would be the pre-nerf T28, the tier 4 one, but now it's nerfed, so it's not my most favorite tanks. But I really love that.
So that was completely useless. What's your favourite tank? A tank that used to be in the game that isn't there anymore.
But it's still in the game. It's still in the game, but then the
but
game
not the
is just,
same way. Exactly, it's not the same tank.
Yeah.
So have you changed your view? Is it a T62A or not?
It's going to be T62A, obviously.
So finally, Maddox.
For me, it's gonna be the IS-3 Defender as a special place in my heart.
The Defender, that's an interesting one. Okay.
Because so I remember getting that tank when I started. Well, when I started the game, not like I was struggling with crits. The moment I got it, I instantly started grinding crits on it every day, basically, and it basically helped me build what I am today, basically. Without the Defender,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to like research that many tanks and start playing tournaments and shit.
Ah, okay. I mean, other tanks in the game for me. I mean, I love the Tiger. I used to love the Tiger P, but now it's not the same since the Tiger 1 buff. But I still love the Tiger P and Tiger 1.
I
but
mean, I still love to drive the Defender once in a while.
Yeah.
It's such a good tank still.
yeah, it's an interesting one because a lot of people struggle with the obviously the load times and everything, with it being a clipper. And I mean, I like the tank. It's a tricky tank, but I do like it. To be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, my favourite tank of all time is still the Mouse. Mainly because I've always got high ping, and having a lot of armour really helps when you've got high ping. So, Dark, come on, I know you're muted, but get in. What's your favourite tank?
Overall, I would say either the Progetto or the AMX 1375, the 6-shot autoloader.
Am I right, Vamp? So the 6-shot, another tank I just can't get on with. Really struggle in that tank. But
The good thing about the French little autoloader is that you can surprise the enemy with your 6 shells and your high output clip damage you have, and actually a pretty short reload.
And
I like spotting enemies.
So which Progetto though, the tier 10 or the 46?
The T10.
That's an interesting
Because
one.
I overall like the auto reloading system. I don't like it on
nice.
the Swedes, but I like it on the Italians.
Okay, cool. Nice. Capsule, you're muted. Are you going to be unmuted and tell us what your favourite tank is? Maybe not. So we're going to move on to his name isn't Blitzstig. It's Stidge. Come on then, Stidge. What's your favourite tank?
Sorry, wash my tin.
Come on.
215B.
215B. Wow,
I love
yeah.
that tank.
Yeah, that's a nice tank. A lot of people used to love that tank, and then it suddenly sort of went out of fashion again for some strange, non-known reason. I don't know why. I mean, it was used in the tournament. It doesn't suit the current tournament meta, but it was at one stage the meta for tournaments when it had its consumables.
2019 was all 215B and Progetto.
The only problem with the 215B is I just wish Wargaming would draw a line in the sand. Either take its armor away, or either take its hit points away, or leave it and give it a hit point buff. But what they did, they took its HP away and then gave it back with the buff. So, I mean, what? You know, just seriously, stop tinkering with it. But no, it's a nice tank, the 215B. And of course, if you know how to play it and you go haul down a lot, you can bounce a lot of things all day on Sundays. Every day of the week and twice on Sundays. It's a great little tank. Right, Ab, next. Come on. Vermilio's legged it, I've noticed.
I think Capsule might want to say his favorite tanks first.
Capsule's back! There we go. Come on then, Capsule. Favorite tank?
Mine is Tiger 2 and Panther.
Tiger 2 and the Panther. Wow.
Yeah.
Panther. A lot of people struggle in that tank. Even since it's buff, a lot of people have been still struggling in that tank. What is it you like about the Panther? The Panther.
The reload, I think. The reload is quite fast, and have good mobility.
It does have good mobility, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's, to be honest with you, it's a good if you're going to go down the line of going to get a Leo at the end, not the E50M, which is that line though, but if you can play a Panther well, the chances are you can play a Leo 1 pretty well, because it's like a similar type of tank, good mobility, good gun, but absolutely shocking armor. And a lot of people struggle in the Leo 1 because they don't realise the armor is so bad. But if you can master the Leo 1, then boy, I mean, that is such an effective tank.
Yeah, I think I would like this tank a lot, but I haven't played a lot yet, but we'll see.
What's that, the Leo?
The Leo one, yeah, I think it's a really good tank.
Oh, it's a fantastic tank. But, as I said, it's got that flip side to it, which is the lack of its armor. And okay, you'll get a bounce every now and then, but 9 times out of 10, a good HE roll will wipe you out. I mean, I wiped one out in a Jaegeroo with a full HE roll. So, I mean, it does struggle in that respect. But the thing about the Leo is it's not meant to be a frontline tank. It's meant to be using that gun as a sniper. And boy, is that gun fantastic. I mean, it's deadly accurate.
If you know what tank to isolate, you can rip them apart.
Absolutely. I mean, it's got to be the most accurate gun in the game, I think. I mean, it's just super accurate. It's like laser-guided gun. Brilliant gun. But a tricky tank. So if you can play the Panther well, chances are when you get to the Leo 1, you'll understand how to play the Leo, which a lot of people do struggle in. And I think, isn't it Meadsy who likes the Leo 1? It's one of his favourite tanks.
Yeah, and Martin Dogger.
Yeah,
Martin Dogger as well. So, you know, it is a good tank. Tricky, but good. So, now it's you.
Jeez, I have so many favorite tanks. I think I just have to rapid fire them, and you'll have to like pick them out, and, like why I like some of them, because I'm just gonna talk about like tier 9 and tier 8, 9 and 10, just for brevity.
Okay.
So for tier 8, it would be the T-34-2, then the Type 59, and the Rebel Odyssey.
Okay.
For tier 9, it would be the T-54 and Centurion 7.
Okay.
For tier 10, it's a split between the 4202, Leopard 1, and the 121.
So you're a Meds player, basically.
More of a Mets player nowadays.
So let's change it around a little bit. We'll start again, and I'll go first. Worst tank. Now, my ultimate... I sold it. It's the only tank I ever sold. My ultimate worst tank is the A32. Because I can't stand it. I think it's a rubbish tank. But that all paled, because it's a low tier, that really pales into comparison to the tank I now have a new loathing for. And that tank is the VK168. Absolutely hate that tank with a passion. And I mean a passion. It is by far the worst premium tank you could ever consider. Oh, look, this is Pinani. Previously a win, now in HSOP. Rolling out a Leo 1, funnily enough. He'll show you how to play it. But I hate the VK168. I think it's a stupid tank. It's like the embryo. It's not even an embryonic mouse. It's like the mouse That is the glint in the milkman's eye, so to speak. It's just a stupid tank. I mean, all this armour, and they still didn't fix the front running gear where you can pen it through the front idler. It's bizarre. So what about you, Jack? What's your worst tank?
KV4. I hate it.
KV4? Okay, cool.
I hate it. It's so slow and the gun is so bad. Just yeah, the armor is not really that
So
good,
slow.
like-
Clearly, you've not rolled out in a Doom Turtle for a long time.
Oh, I think I would hate that. I think I would hate I think I would hate that too.
The Doom Turtle. Oh, what about Tog? Do you like Tog? That's even slower.
Oh, I don't know.
That's even slower.
I wouldn't like the talk. Who wouldn't?
I remember when Fugit using dog.
We used Tog the other day, yeah, in a tournament on Asia. It was good fun.
Yeah, and it's going pretty well.
It did. I mean, seriously, people underestimate the Tog. They really do. Tog is Togtastic. It's a great little tank. So okay, so the KV4 is Jack's hated tank. What about you, Deal for Real?
Yeah, I actually have quite a few now recently because of all the changes they've been making to the game. You know,
Okay.
at least over the last 12 months. So that has kind of changed. I was gonna agree with Jack. My most hated tank used to be the KV4. I actually only did 17 battles in that thing before I rage sold it.
Oh,
However,
wow.
I've seen, since the recent buffs, I've seen it in a couple streamers, and as far as, you know, competition, it looks like it may be worth revisiting. It seemed to get a pretty effective armor buff, in my opinion. So, like I said, I might revisit that one. However, it was definitely on the top of my most hated tanks. But now it's kind of changed. I got a few low tiers that I think that are pretty much worthless, but they're collectors. Like obviously 5.5 RIP the T82 now. That tank is like almost useless. It can be effective if you spam heat only and kind of know how to be a little sneaky in it. The D series, the D1, D2s, those are horrible. They need a massive armor speed buff, in my opinion. For me, I guess I'm trying to stick to higher tiers. Wow, there's been a couple lately. Okay, so a long time ago, it used to be the PTA. Because
Really? Okay. Oh, you playing it stock?
Well, it didn't matter if it was stock or not, because when I was grinding the PTA, it was almost certain if there was a Death Star on the other team, for whatever reason, 9 times out of 10, I'd get one-shot it.
Yeah.
I hated it. Just for that simple fact. But it taught me a lot about the game and how to play different styles and whatnot. But it was just my timing of grinding it. The PTA was, oh my god, I didn't look forward to it. Just simply because of the Death Star. But I would say, in a whole controversial wise, just play styles and just liking it, the one I didn't get along with, and I hear you either like it or you don't, I happen to not like it, was the standard B. Me and the standard B just never
That's
got
surprising.
along.
Standard B, yeah, I'm surprised. A lot of people.
No, I find the Progetto pretty. I like the Progetto, you know, but the standard B, me and the standard B did not get along.
Wow. Standard B, I like the Standard B. It's a nice little tank. So yeah, intrigued to know that one. Okay, so Team Trouble is gone to YouTube. His favourite tank is the Hellcat, and his worst tank is any light. Okay, so moving on to Maddox, what's your least favourite tank? The one that you really hate?
Oh, my least favorite tank that I really hate. The Churchill gun carriage.
Oh, the game carrier. Oh, I remember.
It was horrible.
It still is horrible. I remember getting a 6-kill mastery in that thing, and saying I'm never going to play it again. Oh, you're right. It is a horrible tank, but I still find it better than the VK168. Oddly enough. But yeah, the game carrier. Gosh, what a tank that is. Dark, over to you. Worst tank.
I don't really have one, but I would say Churchill 7 or Churchill 1 and Churchill 7.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like the
slow.
Churchills. Yeah.
Because they're slow AF. They do have the kind of DPM, but I don't get it into action. And you can get panned easily if you switch to Premo, because nowadays everyone could just go and spam premium ammunition.
Well, no, a lot of people struggle with the Churchills because they are slow. I mean, they've got a good reload, but obviously the alpha damage isn't very high. And, you know, if you know where to pen them, then yeah, you can pen them. And, okay, at one stage, I think it was because of Meadsy, or thanks to Meadsy, everybody was spamming the Black Prince for a short time. Or was it because of Bushka? I can't remember who it was because of now. It was either Meadsy or Bushka. Everybody was spamming the Black Prince because of its insane DPM. But that seems to have gone out the window for a while. So, yeah, I get where you're coming from. Capsule, your turn. Come on mute. Tell us which tank you don't like.
All medium and light.
All mediums and all lights.
Yeah. Except Panther. Just that.
I was gonna say, I mean, you like the Panther.
Yeah, because I'm not good at medium and light tank. So.
That's fair enough. And Stij, your turn.
I don't really know, but probably like the KV4 or something.
I feel a lot of hate towards the KV4 today.
Something with a lot of armor, but that has like a massive weak spot. That's like, bruh. Like the British TDs or something.
The tortoise. Or the AT2.
Nice frontal armor, also nice cupola, man.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of people giving the KV4 a bit of hate today. Hab, what about you, mate?
Jeez. I think that out of all of the tanks that I've played in the game so far, I think I can only isolate like 3.
Okay.
The first one, I am leaning between the T-54 lightweight or my WZ-121 GFT, the Wedge.
Okay.
Not because it's like bad or anything. It's because I hate playing it against others because I feel so bad. Then the Tier 9. Every single Tier 9 that I have played, around 99% of them, I have played from stock. Because I couldn't be able to skip the modules on them. I just felt it was a waste that I couldn't grind all of that.
Yeah.
My least favorite Tier 9 by a long shot is the Waffle.
Really? I love the Waffle. I think it's a fantastic tank.
The Waffle seems to hit absolutely nothing for me.
Really?
But when I see it on an enemy team, it always hits a me. I do
Wow.
not understand why. I have rage sold it like 7 times by now. and the Tier 10, jeez, I have almost 20 of them by now. And my least favorite Tier 10 is probably still the Foch 155. Because that's just...
Really?
Can't hit anything. I have the legendary camo on it because I think it looks cool, but other than that, the only thing that I like about it is that it's already nippy, and that it moves pretty well, but the armor isn't too reliable, and the gun, even pre-nerf, I absolutely hated it. Ironically enough, the Foch 155 has my highest damage record in the game. Like 7,500.
Yeah, no. I mean, I love the Foch. I mean, that tank, I find that tank very versatile. I once did a video on it where I think I'm battling 2 heavy tanks on New Bay. One was a Mouse and the other is I can't remember what it was now. 57 heavy, I think, in a VK. 90 or a mouse or something, or an E100 or something along those lines. And the amount of bounces you can get off the front armor of that thing is amazing. It's just amazing. And then if you can land both the shots, then boy, I mean, it's just a wrecking machine. It's a wrecking machine. So yeah, I loved it. But no, interesting, cool. So firstly, hello, Wise Alan Novak. How you doing, my friend? Catmandu is said in YouTube. Notice lately that the game has become more hostile against the finesse tanks. What do people think about? I mean, the finesse tanks. I assume he means things like the Leo and stuff like that. What do you guys think? I mean, okay, the heavy HP buff is sort of taking a lot of bite out of the mediums, sort of ground their teeth down a little bit. I understand that, but do you really think that the finesse tanks have they seen their day? I don't think they have. I think it's just a different play style. I mean, you saw a game earlier from Panani from the north, who, as I said, used to be in Win. He's now in another northern clan, rolling out in his Leo one and doing 7-odd K damage. So, is it really? Have they seen their day? Do you think the finesse tanks?
I would say that it depends on what kind of a tank it actually is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I still play the real one. I think that's fantastic. It still has no problems. Tier 10, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But the 4202, on the other hand, with all of the heavy buffs, I just sometimes think if it's not even like worth the effort of rolling out, because every time I go out in it, I just find fighting against something like a VK90 or all of a sudden bam T22 or WZ58, which wouldn't be a problem, but just has spaced armor on its sides.
But the thing about the 4202, if you know how to play it, is a fantastic tank, especially with its Hesh. I mean, it's a beautiful tank.
It's absolutely ludicrous sometimes, but then again, I just sometimes get those battles where I think it's just not worth the effort, and I switch to another medium.
Yeah, I think that statement for the finesse thing is more tier dependent than anything, because that may be true for some lower tiers, like possibly tier 3 or 4. Tier 5 and 6 things seem to neutralize. I don't know that there's actually any real finesse tanks there aside from the biscuit, maybe. You know, currently there's a lot going on with the tier 7 situation right now. The finesse could even be extended to tier 8. Again, there's not many there. And then, you know, in tier 10, it's again about ability and playstyle. So.
He's qualified it, and he said he's thinking more of tier 7 and tier 8 annihilators on each team. And I understand that. I mean, Annihilator is not a finesse tank, let's be honest.
Well, that was my thinking, is that right now, whether you wanted it admitted or not, but the Annihilators are freaking broken, man. And these poor tier 6s, man, they just, you know, they don't stand a hope. So every tier 6 versus Annihilator, unfortunately, becomes a finesse tank.
Yeah, I mean, I admit the Annihilator is going to be super dominant against tier 6. Not so much against tier 8, which is why I don't say it's OP, by the way. I mean, I don't. It's very rare for me to call a tank OP. And the reason I don't say that one is OP is because tier 6 and tier 7, it really is dominant, but tier 8, not so much. And I've seen some really bad games played by people in that tank, to be honest with you. And a lot of what makes a tank OP isn't just the tank. It's the player behind the tank. Now, some tanks, and for me, there's only, in my eyes, there's only two absolutely, well, there's only one OP tank in my eyes, and it's very rare for me to call it a tank OP, and that's the T92 at tier 9, because I fail to see the downside in that tank still. I mean, when you've got a light tank that has got amazing armor, amazing mobility, a TD derp gun, the spotting range of a Gazelle. I mean, this thing is just. Where's the downside to this tank? I mean, I played a stream the other day, and I very rarely played in T92, I'll be honest with you. And I played in a stream the other day, and I can't remember who I was tuning with. I think I was tuning with Kerfuffles, I can't remember now. And we were on Vineyards, and I went to the old ruins at the top of the map, and I didn't fire missiles, by the way. I just sat there spamming APCR into IS4s, 113s, everything in the middle, and getting crazy damage, completely unspotted because I'm in a light tank miles away from everybody. I just don't see what the disadvantage is in that tank. I just don't. Whereas there are disadvantages to the Annihilator. However, you're right, against tier 6s, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. It will rip apart any tier 6 easily. And it can outclip, it can fully clip a tier 6 in some instances. So I get it on that point. And yeah, it means that finesse tanks at tier 6, and when you're talking about a finesse tank at tier 6, you're talking the likes of the VK28. I mean, the VK28 will struggle against an Annihilator unless the guy driving the VK28 is a good driver, because then he'll just circle to death the Annihilator, which he can do because their armour is pants below the turret. But you've got to be a good player to do that, to be honest with you. And tier 7, I mean, what finesse tank would we say there is at tier 7 realistically? The LTTB, maybe?
I was gonna say the Type 62, but that thing just has the insta-pen heat, so I'm not really sure.
The SPIC?
The SPIC, yeah, the SP1C, that's probably a finesse tank. I mean, that's going to struggle. I mean, I've wiped those things out with an Annihilator, I must admit. But then again, you can wipe those things out with a KV2 and a Smasher. So,
I mean, my issue with the Annihilator is especially at tier 8. Right now, I'm trying to grind the Centurion.
mm-hmm.
I've gotten insta-killed by a platoon of Annihilators who both decide to one-tap me at the same time.
Yeah, no, that will happen because with 600 HP alpha damage, if they full clip, that's 1200 damage straight off the bat. I mean, oof. Yeah. I mean, platoons of these things are a nightmare.
Especially if I'm poking a ridgeline, because I'm pretty sure that's what you're supposed to do in a Centurion. Because its turret armor is like the only armor that it has. The fact that I honestly feel this like a lot of the Brits at tier 8 are just they're just not on par anymore.
I did a video series on British tanks where I said buff the British.
I know.
The FE301 is decent.
The light tanks are fantastic. The 301, the Vickers, I mean, they're all fantastic, the light tanks. And the Vickers CR, they're great. But when you come to the heavies and the mediums, with the exception of the premium tanks, where you've got the likes of the Chimera, the Action X, and the Defender Mark 1 at tier 8, I mean, those tanks are really good. They're really, really good. But the Tech Tree counterparts, they take a lot of getting used to. Once you know how to play them, they are great tanks. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the Conqueror, the Centurion 7-1, the Centurion 1, they're really good tanks, but they're really, and I always say this about the British tanks, the British mediums and heavies are especially the mediums, are so notoriously difficult to play. They really are.
Yeah, back to the worst tank thing, that was the one I was actually forgetting, was the SP1C. And it's because of all the things you listed now, like, you know, with the Smasher, now currently the Annihilator, and then these tier 8s. It even has more of a disadvantage in the British tanks, and you know, against you know, with the armor and everything. And Um, I, I don't know, man. So that one's pretty bad because of, like you said, all the things. The British ones, I agree. They were my worst so far, my least favorite nation to grind.
Hmm.
However, it teaches you different styles. You can be successful in them. They just are at, I would say, more of a disadvantage than other nations per se.
Hmm. Well, why is Alan Novak's right there? I mean, when you start getting to the conquerors and the centurions and stuff like that, these are not frontline tanks by any stretch of the imagination, and they're meant to use their amazing load times, because that's why they've got really good load times, and they're meant to be haul down support tanks, and a lot of people struggle in them. I mean, I'm not saying you guys are struggling in them, but a lot of people struggle in them because they don't understand the role that those tanks are meant to play on the battlefield, so to speak. But you're right, with the additions of things like annihilators and smashers, you can sort of say, scratch your head and say, hang on a moment, my advantage in this tank is I'm meant to be hauled down, yet now you're spamming your premium ammunition into my turret, which you can do on those tanks. I get your point there. I understand that. But no, the British tanks are notoriously difficult to play. Notoriously difficult. But you're right. The deal for real. Once you get, it teaches you a different style of gameplay, and I find with the British tanks, it's another point of you either love them or you hate them, and those who have got used to those tanks really love them. You know, I know guys who roll out in the FV4202 and swear by it because they use the Hesh gun, and oh boy, that thing is nasty when it wants to be. But yeah, those would be the finesse tanks I would think. The LTT, yeah, I mean, yeah, again, you're right, Shamang. The 771 is great tank, but again, really difficult to play. And I mean, that's the thing. So, but it all depends on your play style. I mean, you know, some people, it's easier to play heavies than it is mediums. It's easier to play mediums than it is lights. So, you know, so if you're a good lights player, well done, because they're the hardest tanks to play realistically. And Jack, you're a medium player, aren't you?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean,
Yeah, I think the SP1C could currently be the worst tank in the game because of the meta. But again, you know, there's some proposed changes and buffs. Like, what is it? I believe the Challenger is getting a buff on the British line.
Hey, Matthew.
So that should be a little interesting to see how that works out for it.
Well, Matthew's saying that the 771 is one of his favourite tier 9s. And again, it's how you play them. I agree with you, Kathmandu. A good challenge is fun, but brutality, yeah, becomes old quick. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, mate. But what about you, Maddox? What are you? A medium or a heavy player? I can't remember. I'm not about in tournaments. I'm not about in tournaments. I'm on about your normal gameplay.
Even my normal gameplay, I'm more of a heavy player. I just don't like mediums all over the place.
Okay. See, I prefer heavies myself. I'm a much better heavy player than medium player. And lights, oh god, notoriously bad at light tanks. And you need good ping to play a good light tank, to be fair. If you've got really, really good ping, you know, I'm talking about, 30 ping, then light tanks are a dream to play. I mean, I was playing in Russia a long time ago and had ping of like 5. And it's amazing what you can do when you've got ping that low in a light tank. It becomes so responsive. Whereas when you've got ping of 200, it's not as responsive as you'd like it to be. Which is annoying. But yeah, no, I prefer heavies myself. What about you? I mean, Wild One's out we know as a medium. Deal for real,
Yeah.
what are you? Lights, mediums, heavy, TD, what? What would you say you are?
Well, when I initially started playing the game, I got recommended mediums, and they looked interesting, and I thought I was going to be a medium player.
Mm-hmm.
However, through the course of learning about the game and grinding, I transferred into TDs,
Okay.
and me and TDs kind of became friends. More so, a lot of people say the opposite, but I tend to love turretless TDs. The tank that did that for me was the T25AT.
That's a beautiful
That
tank.
thing was
That's a
super
beautiful
awesome.
tank. And I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
I was just saying the other day on stream, that is one of the most underrated tanks in the game.
Oh, it was even better before. Before there was the 252 and all these, smashers and all that. It was a great take to play,
Mm-hmm.
and so I really fell in love with turretless TDs, and even at tier 10, the OBJ 268 is super super awesome. Everybody likes to grind that line, for the BL10 or whatever, the Sukablats and the SUs, but the OBJ 268 is a really, really good tank for me as far as playstyle. But with that, gravitating, when I got to like the T28 and the Doom Turtle.
Hey, I just want to stop you. Just hold that thought a minute, because this is important. Guys, don't do what Jack is doing here in a Badger. Don't chase a T92 round a rock. He gets away with it, but don't do that.
Yeah, that's kind of tying into where I'm going. So with the T95s and the lack of mobility, playstyle led a lot to be desired.
Mm-hmm.
And I, unfortunately, I like to trade, and so I don't know which tank exactly I could say. I think I was grinding for the mouse and like the whole Tiger P and everything.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But I really, really fell in love with heavies. Just like you,
Mm-hmm.
I love playing the mouse. And heavies still to this day, even at any tier, are where it's at for me. I love heavies, and I just, I'm okay in mediums. I revisit it. But me and light tanks, we just don't get along. I can't do the light thing. That's just my play style.
Just looking at what they're saying on YouTube. Yeah, Team Trouble, I love that tank. The Jag Tiger 88 is a brilliant tank. It's a fantastic little tank, actually. The Tier 9 Tech Tree version, boy, I mean, that thing is just a damage monster. You just can't pen it. It's so annoying on the front armor. But beautiful tank. So moving up, Dark. Come on, your turn again. Light, medium, heavy, TD. What are you?
Don't really have anything special in it. I just like to play any type. Sometimes it's heavy, sometimes it's TD, sometimes it's medium, sometimes it's light tanks.
Okay.
When I'm thinking I'm good with them.
That's fair enough. What about you, Capsule?
Heavy.
Heavy tank man, eh? Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So Galactic Tech Creator saying TDs are possibly the worst tanks. Lights are hard, but turretless TDs are difficult to play, most of them. A lot of people say that. I actually don't. I like them. I like turretless TDs, funnily enough. I don't mind them.
Better than light tank.
Yeah, I don't mind. I find them easier to play than lights, but as I said, ping makes a big difference. I mean, if my ping was super stable all the time, then I'd probably agree with you then. But unfortunately, it's not. So, Vermilio's back. So, firstly, what are you? Light, medium, heavy, TD player? What would you say you are?
I play all of it, but let's say light.
You prefer light?
Light tank player.
Okay.
Yeah, light.
Because you missed out earlier, what's your favourite tank? Followed by what's your worst tank? What tank do you hate?
Oh, okay. Wait, I have something funny right now. So I got the Horeen of the I think like 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
and my win rate in the Hori is 36%. Funny enough.
Okay.
So I fucking hate that shit. I'm not gonna play that in randoms anymore. But
Oof.
that's my worst one. And my favorite one at the moment is the Vickers, because balanced.
Oh, Vickers is great tank though, to be fair. That's fair enough though. So what about you? What type of player would you say you are?
Jeez. When I started out in like 2015,
Mm-hmm.
I started with the Japanese mediums, so I thought I was gonna be a medium player. Then I moved on to Soviet heavies, then I moved on to TDs, and now I play just about everything.
Yeah.
But the tanks themselves have to be like unique in some regard. So funnily enough, out of all of the heavies that I
Mhm.
have, I still like to play the IS-2SH every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just the hilarious. It has really unreliable armor, but it has that rear-mounted turret and somehow decent wind depression. Out of the lights, I basically only play the Batcat because it has the autoloader. And in the TDs, I've recently started getting a punch on for Japanese TDs. I'm still grinding the tier 9
Okay.
one, and I kind of like it.
Wow. Maybe you should. Maybe you and Vermilio should swap stories. Just go back to YouTube. Team Trouble. It doesn't sound odd. I once did a video on, I think it was the E3, the American TD at tier 10, and I said I play that tank like a heavy, like a second line heavy. I don't play it like a TD, and I have a lot. I have more success playing it that way than I do playing it as a traditional TD.
E3 isn't heavy because of the fucking armor.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, I play it like a heavy because, not front line heavy, I sit just behind them, but yeah, I do that with the E3. And so Matthew's saying his fave is the E3. And yeah, I play that like pretty much like a second line heavy. And I find it a very effective way to play it, to be honest with you, rather than camping at the back. Because there are tanks like the Grill that you sort of need to camp at the back because there's no armour. But with the E3, with its really massive armour, apart from its lower hull, I find it a prime candidate for getting forward and playing it pretty much like a heavy tank. So no, it's not a strange thing to say, Team Trouble. If you've got a tank like the Jag Tiger, that can also be played in a similar second line heavy role, I think. Same as the Jaegeru to an extent. I mean, the Jaegeru suffers though with its very long reload, unlike the Jag Tigers.
And the cheeks of the
Yeah, the cheeks of the Jaegeru do not help. Hey, Pork Kebab, I'm great. How are you, my friend? And somebody asked earlier, I think it was Yayit. Actually, I had grilled chicken with mashed potato and broccoli. If you really must know what I had for lunch, there you go. But yeah, interesting stuff. So, what else is what other burning things have you got to say? Come on, Jack, you've always got opinions. You must have one.
No, I mean, I think if you're on my server, you got pinged.
I did get pinged, yes. I have been pinged, yes.
Go have a watch.
I've had a lot of. Oh, it's your team by team guide, esports discussion, eh? Ooh.
Yes.
So there you go. Go and have a look at that, guys. Somebody sent me. Where is it? Where's Dukadoma's replay? Downloaded it. I can't find it in his Scorpion. Let's find it. Oh, there we go. Blue cheese. It's Dubski, not Dukadomi. Dubski. Blue cheese on the NA server.
I'll do one for CIS probably this week, but we'll see.
Oof. Then I have to read that.
Subtitles?
Without subtitles.
I will do a video. I'll see if I have time because like I'm very very occupied in the next few days.
Oh, you know you do,
Uh,
mate.
But we'll see. I don't know because it's going to take me an entire day to kind of get the video up. You know, but I will see.
Yes, I have got. I think it's your grill replay. I'm not sure. You didn't say it was a grill. You just said still had your burning games loadout is what you said. So we'll look at that straight after this.
Fugit, I do have kind of a quick question.
Yeah, of course. Crack on.
And I'm not so sure it's quick, but how much? Okay, so their new theme seems to be battle pass after battle pass after battle pass, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much are you willing to invest into the game? What I mean is like, are you gonna continue to buy every battle pass regardless, or at what point do you say, you know what, I've got enough of them, I've done enough of them, I don't think I'm gonna buy this one?
I think it depends. I mean, a couple of things. Firstly, I'm a strange, nerdy type of individual. I actually don't play a lot of games, funnily enough. This realistically is the only game I play. So,
me too.
So because it's really the only game I actually play, and let's go back to the beginning. I waited a long time for this game because I don't own a PC. All my stuff is Mac, and World of Tanks PC came out, and I could never get it because I didn't have a PC. And I'm notoriously bad at playing games on a PC. I mean, when I was a bit of a whippersnapper at university, I did have a PC and I had 2 games, and one of them was Star Wars Rogue Squadron, which I loved, and the other one was Flight Simulator Battle of Britain or something, which I kept crashing every time I took off, so I was not very good at it. And Rogue Squadron frustrated the hell out of me, and I've never been a very good gamer on a PC. I just can't handle all the buttons because you've got to use lots of different keyboard commands. So I waited for an eternity for this game to finally come out on an iPhone. And I love tanks. I'm an ex-military man. I make models. I like history. So I was really, really waiting for this game to come out. And it really is the only game I play. And a lot of people say, oh, you know, play Among Us. And I haven't downloaded it, and I suppose I should at some stage.
It's fun, but it's not like this game. It's just.
But yeah, I mean, but I find this game. Okay, let's put to one side for a moment. I'm speaking to you as a normal person now, not as a CC or any of that bullshit. The thing I like about this game is, regardless of, you know, is it pay to win, are there too many premium tanks, blah, 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 forget all that bullshit. What I love about this game is, seriously, I get to play almost a tank sim of an era of tanks that interests me, which is World War II and just after World War II. Of the nations that interest me, Britain, Russia, America, Germany, etc., etc. And every game, regardless if it's full of noobs or not, I find is a challenge, and I love that about the game. It's frustrating, and I will always say that it will run the full ambit of all your emotions, from elation to annoyance.
To depression.
To depression, it will. You'll go through every single emotion that you can possibly go through. Sometimes in one game, you know, not even in a session, but in one game. And I always find this game intriguing because you've got realistically so many different ways to play this game, depending on the tank that you've got, depending on the map that you've been given, and depending upon the enemy that you're facing. And I find that challenging. I find it interesting. So yeah, this is the only game I've got. So because it's realistically the only game I play, I still enjoy it. Sometimes it pisses me off, of course it does. Sometimes I say I've had enough and I give up for a week or so. Of course I do, everybody does. You know, I don't sit here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week playing a game of tanks. But because it's the only game I really do play, then I am prepared to invest in it because I enjoy it. It makes me happy and annoyed and sad and all the other stuff. But it makes me happy, so to speak. And I'm one of those guys that, you know, I think I'm good when I know I'm not. I think I should be in a pro clan when I know it'll never happen. And once I get, and I always say this, and people look at me, win rate has never been a big thing for me. Win rate used to be a big thing for me. And it really did. Until I came to the conclusion one day, why do I need a good win rate? I'm not going to be in a pro clan. I'm not going to do an esports pro tour. I'm just going to play the game for fun. So it doesn't matter if my win rate's 40% or 70%. It really doesn't matter. What matters is, am I enjoying it? And as long as I enjoy it, I will still pay. It's as simple as that. I will invest in it until I think the game has got nothing to give me anymore. No further enjoyment. And the only way that's going to happen is if they change it to such an extent that I you know, going out there and blowing stuff up ceases to be entertainment for me.
Well, by that analogy, the game is pay to play for you then.
Well, no, because I don't know. It's don't forget, I run 4 accounts, and it's only recently that I've got an EU account. Okay, now my main account is EU, and on my EU account, I've got almost every tank in the game. Not because I wanted to pay to play, but because I was doing YouTube and I needed to buy the tanks to do reviews back in those days. Yeah. So, but on my North American account and on my Asian account, I've hardly spent any money, and I still enjoy rolling out on both those servers, to be honest with you. So no, it's not pay to play, because if I only played the EU server, then I'd accept that. You're right, but I don't. I play the Asia server quite a lot, and now my ping is a little bit better on the NA server. I've played the NA server quite regularly over the last week or so. So, and I don't invest in either of those two servers. A little bit of money here and there, but not much. I mean, we're talking a couple of dollars. I haven't even got the Annihilator on my NA or Asian accounts. So I didn't buy the battle pass for those two. And on my RU server, I've spent zero, nothing, not a thing. You know, okay, I've got a press account for EU and I've got a press account for Asia, but I very rarely use them, to be honest with you. The reason being, because I can't play them in ratings, I can't play them in tournaments, so I can do reviews on the tanks, and if it's a tank that, for example, the T25 Pilot, I haven't really got that tank, I'm not really interested in that tank. But if I want to do a review on it, I've got the press account where it will be in there, so I can look at it and sort of do a review on it. So it's not like I go out and buy every tank in the game, because I sort of don't. But so yeah, my EU account's a bit weird, because of the reason I bought so many tanks was purely for YouTube, mate, nothing else. And if I wasn't doing YouTube, then I wouldn't have spent half the money I'd spent, to be honest with you. Like I've done on NA, and like I've done on Asia. I mean, Asia, I'm still grinding. I'm still grinding the tanks on Asia. I've only got 2 lines, which has taken me a long time, and I've got to the E100 and I've got to the mouse, and that's it. And I've just started going down the Russian line. So that's it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I see your point as far as your enjoyment level and, you know, spending your money, and everybody has the right to do that whether they choose to or not. However, for me, I feel, especially quite recently, that WG is basically forcing me out of the game if I don't spend money on the game.
Well,
and
can I just counter that, because to an extent you're right, and I'll explain to you why you're right. If we were all free to play, there'd be no game. It's as simple as that. the reason being, obviously, they've got a staff, they've got to develop it, they've got the servers, they've got all the infrastructure, blah, blah, blah. That all has to be paid for somehow. And the worst people in the game, for as far as wargaming as a business are concerned, are the free-to-play players. Because they're actually not investing in the game. Now, wargaming could turn around and say, fine, we'll stop it. There's no longer any free-to-play. That's it. And, you've got to spend some money somewhere. They haven't done that as of yet. They don't make it easy for you. They don't make it easy for you. That I totally agree with. You will lose credits in certain instances, and it's a bloody nightmare. But they also give you things like you can watch videos for gold, and they give you boosters, and they do this, they do that. So they're not trying to force you per se out of the game, but they are going to do their utmost to force you to spend money. Because they're a business.
That analogy is a catch-22 though too, because you can't necessarily say that free-to-play players don't bring anything to the game when they actually quite do, because like you said, there's the ads. The free-to-play players typically watch the most ads, so they get their ad revenue there. Then there's word of mouth. There's communities, so they invest into those natures. The tournaments, things of that.
Oh, I don't mean. No, hang on. Don't misunderstand me. I don't mean they don't bring anything to the game. They don't bring anything to wargaming's business, is what I mean.
And that's why I'm disagreeing with you. I think that they do a lot, because a lot of businesses, especially service-based, they go on what's called word of mouth. And so a free-to-play player translates that word of mouth, which in turn translates business. And like I said, back again to even just as simple as the ads. That analogy is flawed from a business sense, saying that they don't bring anything to the game, when in fact they maybe bring more to the game than the actual, just initial tank investment by buying crates or whatever. Because, like I said, they bring the word of mouth and they bring the ad revenue.
I'll tell you what. If that were the case, and seriously, I'm not trying to sort of put anybody down here. If that were the case, that the free-to-play players brought more to the game, as in the business side of the game, than the pay-to-play. Hang on. No. Hang on.
I see what you're doing.
Then, if you're saying that word of mouth is a big thing, if everybody was free-to-play. Seriously, there'd be no game. There would be no game, because they can't live on.
So Fortnite was a massive fail.
Mate, you've seen as well as I've seen. Some of the I know of people in the US who've taken daddy's credit card and spent $20,000 on Fortnite. $20,000. I mean, Fortnite is a nightmare. Absolute nightmare for it's not, people are spending millions on Fortnite to get the skins and this and that. They spend millions, mate. And the revenue of Fortnite is massive, and I mean massive. This is why they can do an esports tournament where the prize is, what was it? It was like 2 million or something. I mean, that's huge. Absolutely huge. So Fortnite, the game, the revenue for that game last year alone was $2.4 billion. Billion. And that's not free-to-play players, mate. Seriously, that can't be. I mean, that's a lot of money for a game. And this is how they can do an esports championship where they could give away $2 million to the winner. I mean, World of Tanks Blitz revenue. I mean, just have a look at it. I mean, Blitz is a little bit different. Just it's a smaller. They don't tell you what the revenue is.
Well, again, it goes back to, so now the game is transferred into pay to play.
I don't think it is, because you can still play it completely free. You can still play it completely free. It will take you a long time. It'll be frustrating.
No. I'm to the point now where I almost have nothing to grind, right? So I'm not doing it. Okay, here's my conundrum. I don't want to be forced into playing for 4 to 5 days straight a tier 8 premium just to get credits to buy a free to play Tech Tree tier 10 tank. Then once I acquire that tank, I have limited battles in it because of the credit loss. And so basically you're acquiring these things that you can't use. Then it's not just there. I've had battles where I've lost 10, 12,000 credits at tier 3.
Oh, and you will.
Tier 3.
And you will.
But that's okay. So if you continue, the game should reward players. The more you play a game, you should get rewarded, right? The more investment, the more time you put into a game should come rewards. You have not the system with Blitz. Okay, they don't care about rewarding players other than, you know, buy this new hot tank and be OP for a minute. And so the thing of it is the more time I invest into this game, the more I play it, the bigger hole I dig myself.
But this is the thing.
To a point now where I literally have no credits to play any tier. I can't even play the tanks that I want to play because the game is not set up as a way to enjoy that.
But like I said,
which game has a rewarding system that how more you play, how more rewards you get? I really want to know which game that is.
I mean, it's swings and roundabouts, to be honest with you. I mean, back in the day, we've got various different platforms. We've got Xbox, we've got PlayStation, we've got PC games, we've got mobile games, all through the yin yang. Now, one of the most popular games still is Minecraft. You can't play that for free. You have to buy it. You have to buy it. You can't play any PlayStation game realistically for free. You have to buy them. Same with Xbox. You can't pay them. You can't play them for free. Now, they do say, oh, you can play them for free, but you have to have a PlayStation account, which costs, or an Xbox account, which costs. And then you can download some free games, but it still costs you to do that. I don't know any gaming company that gives games purely gratis. I don't know any. There are games out there that, yes, technically they are free to play, but you will always struggle as a free to play player. Always. Now, that's just the nature of the beast. At the end of the day, they've got to pay the bills somehow. And if we all went free to play, then, as I keep saying, there would be no game. And, you know, people are correct. Galactic Tech and some of the people in the chat are correct. It's a mixture of both. Without the free-to-play players, then the game would be stupid. And without the pay-to-play players, the game would be not there. So it's a mix. And now the thing that Wargaming do, like most businesses, they're not going to make it easy for a free-to-play player to firstly grind and secondly continue grinding or doing whatever. Because if they did that, then nobody would pay realistically. So I get the frustration. Abinet touched on this last night with Jack in his stream. The game is still technically free to play. However, it's going to take you an age to grind the bloody tanks. It's going to be frustrating as hell because you're not getting as many credits because you don't have a premium account, etc., etc., etc. And I get that, and I understand that, and I understand where the free-to-play players come from, and I understand that, you know, for them it's very frustrating and it's annoying. But on the same token, without the revenue, I keep coming back to, there really would be no game because they couldn't afford to do it. It's as simple as they've got to pay people.
Yeah, I'm agree with Fugit. Not gonna lie, I'm free to play player. I don't have any premium tank. For real. So, but this game is quite interesting for me. Like, if you don't have enough credit, you can manage with your ammo. Just bring some ammo and not using consumable or not using provision. It's quite interesting. I'm still free to play player, not even pay any dollars to this game, but I'm still playing it.
And it's incredibly. I mean, guys, like I said, my Asian account is free to play. I played the E100 for the first time the other day.
But
Lost the. Hang on. I played the E100 the other day. Didn't win the game. Wanted to play the E100 and roll out straight again, but I couldn't because I had to do repairs, which I couldn't afford. So then I had to drop down like for a few tiers and play a tank just to grind some credits. And I get it's annoying, it's frustrating, it's a kick in the teeth, it's all of those things. I get that. I understand that. I understand the frustration when being a free-to-play player. But at the end of the day, as I said, if we were all free to play, there really would be no game. Seriously.
Yeah, they can pay their.
But as I said, it's a mix. It's a mix. The pay-to-play players can't sit there saying we're above everybody because we pay. But on the same token, the free-to-play players can't turn around and say, well, it's unfair. It's a mix of both. It's a mix of both. Without the free-to-play players, the game would be shit. Without the pay-to-play players, there'd be no game. So it's this mixing.
But as an in-game player, okay, whether you're free to play or not, then you have to simply start looking at it as a business then. So you guys are not looking at this as a game. It's you have to look at it as a business then, by all your analogies. So
no, I look at it as a game.
Business sense, if you look, okay, well then if you look at it from that standpoint, then it's totally as an in-game player. Once you reach the game's capacity, as far as grinding or whatever, then it becomes a pay-to-play game.
Well, I mean, I have on my EU. There's nothing for me to grind on my EU account. Not a thing. Zero. Nothing. Nada. Nothing at all. I get a load of boosters. I get a load of this. I get a load of that. But you know, I've got more boosters than I can throw a stick at. I've got a shed load of credits, mainly because I played a lot of tournaments, and that's why I've got like 50 million credits in my account, mainly from tournaments, funnily enough. But I did invest in a premium account, I've done that across all my servers, because a premium account's not that expensive, to be fair, and that alone, because I enjoy the game, because I enjoy the game, I look at it as, well, if this game was on a PS4, then I'd be spending upwards of 60, 70 pounds on a game that as soon as I've completed level 10, I have to go back to the start and do it all again. Whereas a premium account costs nowhere near that, and it gets me the credits and it does me whatever I need to do. So I can do it that way. And I'm not saying you've got to spend all the money in the game to buy all the premium tanks, etc., etc. But personally, I would, even as a free-to-play player, I would still buy a premium account. If that was the only thing I spent my money on, it would be that. Nothing else. Because then, it's going to get me double my credits, double my XP. And I've done it on my Asian account, and I've done it on my NA account. And I will do it on all my accounts. Even though I don't spend money on NA or Asia as such. Because I just think it's invaluable.
So you pay to play the game, right?
No.
You just said you bought a premium account. You invested in a premium
It's
account.
basically it's a reward for yourself. It's not that you.
It's for
can
me.
Play the game. It's for yourself. I mean.
It's just so funny hearing all these excuses. I mean, you guys are going roundabout and roundabout.
No, it's not an excuse.
It's
not an excuse. How can it be an excuse?
It's the way because I'm explaining. It's the way wargaming have the game structured that at some point, if you decide not to invest in the game becomes unfeasible. So you're left with the alternative, but to spend money on the game to enjoy it.
But okay, but we then come back to the flip side. If it was so simple that wargaming didn't need you to spend any money at all, zero, nada, then you would. How can they afford to develop a game? How can they afford to maintain the servers? Nobody in this world, and I mean this, nobody, zero, nada, regardless of what you may think, nobody gives anybody anything for free.
It's as a player, as somebody, a consumer, somebody who enjoys the game. It's not my responsibility to run their marketing or their business program. Okay, that's for them to decide whether they want to go out and they want to decide to get some form of sponsorship or work deals with other companies, some kind of esports investment to make that attractive competition wise. Whatever avenue they choose, that's not my responsibility. So I'm not going to entertain that question as far as what their answer is as far as running their business. That's not my responsibility. My responsibility as a consumer is to get the product they offer and enjoy the product they offer
Okay,
for what it is.
stop you there. You
And
just
so-
you just stopped you there. You just said a consumer. Tell me anything on this planet that you get free of charge.
Again, you guys keep going roundabout ways. It's not all or nothing. And then you're kind of proving my point for me if you want to do that. Because like I said, if you don't pay, then you can't play and enjoy the game. So
But no,
it's a catch-22 for me.
it's
Like I said,
it's
you
no,
guys are investing money,
no.
you're saying
I'm
you have
sorry.
to
You,
keep
sorry,
them
you,
afloat
you
business-wise.
you've deflected the question there.
No,
You
no,
said
no.
no. Deal for real. Deal for real. Deal for real.
You're
You deflect.
deflecting the question.
No.
You're deflecting the question by going to other goods. We're talking about Blitz. We're not talking about other games.
No. You said,
You're talking about
mate. You said your words. You are a
Getting so fucking
you
tempted.
you
Fucking
are a
bullshit.
consumer. You're a consumer. That's what you said. A consumer.
Of Blitz. I spend my time. I play the game. Yeah.
And all I asked you was a straightforward. You tell me something on this planet that you can consume gratis. There's nothing, not a thing, zero.
Well, air is free. I mean, water is free. It's attainable. There's tons of things you can consume for free.
I pay for water. Seriously, I have a water bill. Water is not free.
Oh my fucking god. Okay.
I mean, everything we do. At some point, we the individual have the decision, and you're saying it's not your responsibility for Wargaming's business model. I agree. No. I agree.
90% of my entertainment is free, Fugit. 90% of my entertainment is free. Whether you choose to spend money on your entertainment or not, that's your decision. But you can't say, look at other things, look at this. Like I said, let's keep it to Blitz. We're talking about Blitz. Don't go off on tangents.
Okay, staying with Blitz. You said it's not your responsibility for their business model. Nobody said it was. Nobody said it was. But you have a choice. You, individually, personally, have a choice. Your choice is very straightforward. You can remain a free-to-play player, along with all the hassle being a free-to-play player is. It brings along with it. Or you can choose, if you wish, to spend a little bit of money. No one's saying spend a shed load. You could buy just a premium account. It's your choice. You get to make that choice. Nobody forces you not to make the choice. Nobody. Being a free-to-play player has, in its inherent, disadvantages. Of course it does. Of course it does. Because if it was free for everybody, I get back to the point, there would be no game, because there'd be nobody paying the wages for the developers, nobody paying the costs of the infrastructure. There would be zero game.
That's their fault, not the
No, it's not their fault.
the fuck?
How is it their fault? They're saying, guys, we've got a game here, you can play it either A, free to play, and it's going to be difficult, or you can pay a bit of money and it makes it a bit easier. You are therefore given a choice. It's a choice that we are destined to make. And the choice is, do we want to be free to play, along with all the downsides that brings, and not spend a penny, or do we want to spend a bit of money and make it a bit easier? That's it. It's wargaming. It's nothing to do with their business model. It's to do with you are given a choice. And you are a living testament of that choice, because you haven't spent on it. You are a free-to-play player, so you have taken that choice. And Wargaming have not done anything, realistically, in real terms, to force you to spend $1. It's made it difficult for you. I agree. But that's the downside of being free to play. But you can still make that choice. And that's the important thing. That's important. We are not forced. Even though we may think we are, we're really, really not. And I get your point. As a free-to-play player, it comes with so many disadvantages. Hundreds of disadvantages that a pay-to-play player doesn't face. But, I mean, just seriously, just go to a premium account here. If I wanted to buy a premium account, it's going to cost me, for 180 days, that's half a year, 8,000 gold. Now, you're going to have to watch a lot of videos to get 8,000 gold, I agree. But it can be done. It can be done.
I just want to address something in the chat here, because there's a lot of people doing whatever, and, you know, I don't want to entertain.
People do. Don't worry about the chat. Don't worry about the chat.
No, but I just want to bring up one point. They say I don't understand something. Dude, I have over 60,000 battles. And I'm not calling them out, but what I want to say is my experience with the game is either on par or in some cases more than theirs. So for me to tell them, or for them to make the statement that I don't understand something that I'm talking about, I very much do. And the point I'm trying to prove is, you grind these tech trees, which one is unattainable. You cannot simply pick up the game, free to play, grind a tech tree from tier 1 to tier 10.
Bye, Yusuf.
I'm sorry. Okay?
You can do
Number two is, once you get to that level, so I have some tier 10s in my garage, right? You cannot entertain playing them, like you said, i.e. without padding your credits, you know, via tournament, via tier 8 premiums, however you choose, real money. Unless you pad your credit system, you cannot simply play a certain tier over and over and over and over again. The more you play, eventually, because of the nature of the game, nobody has a 100% win rate. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. Okay?
Correct. Nobody's got 100%.
And even often in times, I've had Ace Mastery games where you lose credits with the Ace Mastery game, okay? So, eventually, the more and more you play the game, your credit system will just deplete to zero. It just depletes and depletes and depletes. Eventually, over a course of battles, once that credit system depletes to zero, then you can no longer play the game. So that's a failed model in my opinion. That's why I'm saying there's nothing, it's a pay-to-play game, because there's nothing to keep you playing the game, because eventually it will deteriorate to zero. You can't do it. So in the end result, it's like a failed plan, or whatever you want to call it. It's like beating your head against the wall. Unless you take other measures, like I said, via tier 8 premium, via premium accounts, tournaments, or what, like, if you just simply play the tech trees, and at tier 10, especially because that's what all of us strive for, that's the top, you know, echelon, if you will. Like, that's, you know, the models everybody wants, all the different tanks we talked about, our favorites, our worst, whatever. Once you get these tier 10 tanks, you can't enjoy them in the game. You cannot simply just play, like say I wanted to just play the OBJ 268 only. That's my favorite tank, I like it. I just want to continue to play that game. Unless I make other investments or avenues or other ways to make that feasible, I can't simply free to play, pick up that tank and play the game and enjoy it, because I will have 0 credits, and then obviously they don't let you play the tank if it needs repairs.
No, but I've been there. I don't think I've been paying to play since day one, apart from premium account. I've been there. And I at one time, I had to go through my entire garage and I had to take all the ammunition off, take all the provisions off, take all the camos off and all the consumables off to get credits back. I've had to sell tanks. I sold all my tier 5, 6, 7 and 8 American tanks at one stage just to get credits. And I'm not saying you don't have to do that. Of course you do, if you're a free-to-play player. It's a sacrifice you have to make. Unfortunately, that's what being a free-to-play player is all about. At the end of the day, I mean, you've got to balance it yourself as well. And it's like I said, if it was so easy to get everything free-to-play, there really would be 0 game. There'd be no game at all. None.
I just want to say that I do have a free-to-play account on NA, and I don't agree that it's possible to like, without everything.
Say again, Kareem.
Wargaming does-
Say again, Kareem. Sorry, I missed that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to say is that wargaming does give you premiums, you know, with the events. So it's not that it's impossible. It's just far more difficult to manage your credits, but it's not a big deal. Like you get the choice to be free to play or not, and if you're free to play, then it's just something that you have to put up with. But you can like, get around it.
It's not easy, and no one's saying it's easy. And my heart goes out to every single free-to-play player because it's a bloody struggle to play this game for free. It is a struggle. But that's the business they've made. The business model they've come up with is, guys, you can play this game for free, but it ain't going to be easy. You're going to find it a lot easier if you spend a bit of money. And that's all they're saying. But they've given us a choice. And the choice is play it for free or don't pay it for free. Nobody forces us to go down one road or t'other, to be honest with you. It may appear that way, but it just, they don't do that. All they're doing is saying it's a lot harder if you want to do it for free. And it is a lot harder. A lot harder. No one can deny that. It's not impossible, but it's not bloody easy. And that's the thing.
I mean, you get premium time off of the daily crates and everything. Like not even for doing missions, but just from having an account, you get those certificates for premium time and everything. So if you know when to use them.
Yeah, it's I mean, yeah, they do give us the boost. I mean, looking in my garage thing on the certificates, I mean, I've got 1 day of premium, 160 certificates for 1 day of premium. I've got 10 gold certificates, 17 gold certificates, sorry, 18 certificates for gold. I've got 9 hours of premium, shed loads of those. 1 hour of premium, I've got 1,227 of those that you collect over time. So you can use those certificates. It can be done. I've got one here, 30 days of premium account. So the certificates are there, guys. But like I said, no one's saying it's going to be easy to play this game for free without spending a single dollar. It's not impossible, but it ain't easy. So that's the thing. That's the thing. And they don't make it easy. Of course they don't. They're a business. And the whole idea of every business is to make you spend money. Every business does that. Every one of them. I mean, every time I drive past, every time I go down the road, there's a new offer from McDonald's. And my kid says, oh look, it's only 10 dirhams, which is $2, $3. Oh, it's only 10 dirhams for a Big Mac. Can we get a Big Mac? No. Oh, why not? It's really cheap. But still, it's not. It's clickbait. And that's what wargaming, like every other business, is doing. It's clickbait. We've enticed you with the free game. We've made it difficult for you to progress. So, ideally, you should spend some money and you'll progress a lot easier. But that's a choice we are then given. Either we take that choice or we don't. It's as simple as that. As simple as that. And we had 40 people watching at that point. Woohoo! So thank you, Dilverreal, for getting so many people to come on.
I just would like to see the game shift a little bit. And
it'll never happen, mate.
Grow.
It'll never happen.
Here's what I'm saying. Yeah, but here's what I'm saying is I think it would help it grow in popularity at least, or retain players, because obviously that was the whole point of 5.5, right? Was they complained about their player retention.
Yeah.
But what I would like to see it, like I say, as these rewards, and yeah, they have little events here, but they're kind of shifting from that, and it's more turning into like the battle pass stuff. But what I would like to see is you actually get something worthwhile, your time, your investment out of it, and keep it feasible. So again, like I said, I made the earlier statement of, the more you play, the more you should get rewarded, not the opposite. And so, the players who want to do 100 battles a day or over or whatever, without having to spend actual money on the game, or whatever, because that's their current model. I guess what I'm saying, that should be more feasible in some manner. Obviously, I don't have the perfect answer. You don't. None of us do.
No, we don't.
And so the thing of it is though, what they have now is, and maybe it's just the way they want to run their business through attrition, but they're going to have a really, really hard time keeping in-game players or players that have attained a higher level, and then figure out that, it's just, how many times can you spam a 252U?
We're about to stop you there, because that is a completely different argument, and one that I have a bugbear with, because I am a veteran player. I've been playing this game since day one, so since 2014, and I've got almost every tank. I've got all the tech tree tanks, okay? So I agree with you there. What is the incentive for me to keep playing, other than my own entertainment? And that is the thing, and I agree with you on that. Wargaming need to look at that a bit more, and how are they going to retain their veteran players? And I totally agree with that, regardless if you're pay to play or free to play. It's irrelevant what methodology you're using. What is relevant, however, is the point where you say, well, if you invest time into this game, you've been a veteran player, what is there now to keep you going? And that's a good point. And it's a point that we keep raising all the time. Even Meads has raised it many, many times. He's got all the tanks. He's got more credits, more XP than you could throw a stick at. And he says it himself. What has he got to keep him going in the game?
Can I
Of course.
Or tell you? I'm telling you right now, if this game is like 10 years old, they will do the same thing on World War Tanks PC. They're gonna give free awards. I believe I was on PC and I played from the beta version, so that's like 2011 or even earlier. And I logged into the game just randomly, and I got 30k gold for free, just for nothing, just for been playing games since the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I got, and all the other players also got rewards. Also, just got some 10,000 gold, even if you just begun, you just got free gold. So just mark my words, they're gonna do the same thing on Blitz.
They'll do something.
They also gave away the T50-2.
Yeah, they'll do something. Something will happen, and I mean, this is the thing. But yeah, I mean, I've always been vocal on that point. I mean, I look at my garage, not my garage. I look at my garage, and I've got 43 million credits, 1.4 million XP because I used up most of my XP for the Swedish heavies. And then if I go into my XP, I mean, I've got 18 million XP. Of course, I haven't got 685,000 gold to convert it. But I've got all the XP if I need it. I used a shed load of my free XP to do the skills, to upgrade all the skills. All my skills are upgraded fully, all to 7 on EU. And I didn't use gold. I just used all the free XP that I've got, which is why I've still got like 18 bloody million and stuff. So for me as a player, I mean, what is my incentive to keep playing? Well, my incentive is I still like rolling out and I still like blowing shit up. And that is what I enjoy. And it's like the Joker in Dark Knight in the Dark Knight. I like gasoline and dynamite. Why? Because they're cheap. And I like Blitz because I'm a man of simple pleasures. I like blowing other tanks up and getting a kick out of it. Simple as that. And like I told you, it's the only game I play. It really is the only game I play. And I started doing YouTube purely because I got fed up of watching super duper pro players replays showing me how the tanks should be played, knowing damn well I'm never going to play to that level. I'm never going to play a Leo 1 like some of the top pro guys. It's never going to happen. Never in a million years. It's never going to happen. That's why I did it. Exactly, Kathmandu. I'm here to kill things and break stuff. And I love blowing shit up. Tell me, seriously, I mean, all of you, doesn't matter if you're free to play or pay to play, who doesn't get a big smile on their face and have a giggle fit when they ammo rack somebody? Everybody does. Who doesn't have a big smile on their face when they ram kill somebody? Of course we do. We all do. And that's what keeps me coming back to this game. And, you know, I'm not a big fan of mad games, which I'm glad to say is finished. But I did love burning games, and I love gravity mode, and I'm not a big fan of realistic, and I love Uprising, because it's different, and you can have fun, and you can blow shit up as well.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps me coming back. And seriously, if I didn't have a YouTube channel, I wouldn't have spent half the money I'd spent. I really wouldn't have. And it's only because I've got a YouTube channel that I've done that. Because I had to buy the bloody tanks to review them back in the day. No, it's true though. I mean, I didn't have a press account. I didn't have a press account back in the day. So I had to buy the tanks to review them. So you know, it's just the way it works. But yeah, I mean, I agree with that point you make, the deal for real. As a veteran player, what is there to keep me in the game? And it's a question that needs to be addressed. Absolutely. I totally agree with you on that.
I mean, it's because I'm hearing it more and more from people, not just myself. Me personally, I mean, I'll just use my current situation as an example because it seems to be a bit reoccurring, but it's just a better way to get it across. So I either did some math wrong or I had some misinformation. I don't know which. When the Kranvagen line came out, I had thought I saved up enough EXP and credits and whatnot. I knew I was going to be a little tight on credits or short, but I did some math wrong and I ended up having to grind about 100k XP for the Kranvagen, the last one. So in that process, I was grinding it, and then I was just noticing the credit situation and the gameplay and, the smash of this and whatever. And it just got to a point where it's like, why am I even grinding this tank? Like, yeah, it's cool to have it. It's a new tank, whatever. They're using it in tournaments. But then I'm going to get it. So I'm scraping by. I'm putting all my time and effort. I'm going to have to grind this thing for like a week to save up the credits. Do my 100k free XP. Maybe I could do that in a couple days, whatever. And I got the Kranvagen researched, but I'm like, I don't even want to buy it because it's like, I'm going to go get it and play it, and then I'm not even going to have the credits to enjoy it and play it. So there's no point really in getting it. It's like, whatever. And it's more so than that. It's like I said, I hear a lot of other people complaining. And currently right now what it is it's, and I don't want to blame it on MM because we all know that that's a different thing. But what it is let's just say the player base. The player base has degraded to such a level now where these matches are so they're I mean I hate to say it, but like the majority of the matches are way lopsided, and they're lopsided one way or the other, whether you win and you're not relevant or whether you get smoked. And what I'm finding it is because I'm going back and I'm trying to revisit some tanks, all different tiers. I'm trying to get some like aces and tanks or even like there's some tanks that I got like a 41% win rate, but I know a lot about the tank now and I actually enjoy it. I can enjoy it better. And I know I can get that to 50% easily. And so I'm going back and I'm trying to revisit tanks, but the player base, because of the matches, it's not even worth doing because I'm finding it really, really, really difficult to like get ace mastery games. And like, I mean, there's a lot of games where I felt I should have had an ace mastery, man. I mean, I'm talking over 1,000 base free XP, 5-6 kills, and I only wind up with the first class. And it's just because of these lopsided matches, And it's I really have no answer, but
there is a lot of that. But I mean,
I guess what I'm saying is at what point do you just feel like you're simply wasting time?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I haven't played a random game in random mode for about a month, if the truth be known. I've played a lot of burning games. I did a lot of those streams. Okay, I've done ratings because of the RBM streams. And I played a lot more tournaments, to the point where on Asia the other day, I've done it twice now, I just get subscribers to jump in and we pull a team together and we just go out and have some fun. And that's all I've been doing, guys. I don't, because I'm not interested in win rate and shit like that. It doesn't bother me. It has absolutely zero on me, because I don't need it, because I know I'm never ever going to be a pro esports player. I'm in a pro clan on NA, but it's a token gesture, and I'm very grateful for the guys at GMA for doing it. But it's not because I'm such a great player, it's because, you know, they're a nice bunch of guys, and I'm a streamer on the tours. It's good for them, good for me. And most of the streamers are in clans like that. I mean, every good name is taken is in Feast on Asia. Not because he's a good player, don't get me wrong, but it's not because of that. He's, you know, we are basically token players. We're never going to play in their pro teams. And I know that, and I'm happy with that. But that doesn't stop me from having a balls ache laugh with whoever on either EU, NA, or Asia, rolling out in tournaments. I mean, we played a tier 10 on Asia the other day. Poor Layla doesn't even have a tier 10. We forced her to go out in a tier 9. And we won. We won the tournament. And we all had a good laugh, and we got the credits and all that sort of stuff. And I've said it many, many times. And, you know, you've all got to sit there and say, well, what do I want from the game? What do I want from the game? And what I want from the game is I want to have a bit of fun. And if that means blowing shit up, or it means doing countings with people I like and I get on with and all that sort of stuff, then I'll continue doing that. And you've seen my streams. How many times do I stream where I'm just sat here playing the game on my own? How many times? Apart from the RBMs. I don't. Because that's not what the game is for me. I love playing with you guys. That's the thing. That's what my streams are. My streams are interacting with the subscribers. And if that means focusing me and my toon mate, or getting as many we can into a game, and if that makes you smile and gives you a laugh, then that is exactly what I'm here to do. I'm just here to entertain. Simple. And I entertain playing a game I love. And I love it for not the same reasons as everybody. We all have different reasons for liking the game. All of us.
Well, I just know that the one thing that would go a long way with keeping me entertained in the game, and even possibly investing money, is that, you know, obviously my frustration lately has been getting the silver bird lately, but that's neither here nor there. What it is, you know, at the tier 10 level, I those are a lot of tanks that I feel like I worked for, I want to enjoy playing, and I just don't want to feel like I have to grind, you know, a tier 8 tank for a couple days just to play a tier 10 tank that I really want to play for a couple hours. And that's just kind of, that's where for me it's like I'm deciding to play the game less and less, because I don't want to make that time commitment just to simply enjoy it. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. You've got to sit there and say, well, what do I want from the game? And I've got to the point where what I want from the game is fun and laughter and enjoyment. And if that means I'm going to start doing more tournaments with thrown together teams of subscribers or people I know, then I'll do that. I don't care, because and I don't care if we win, and I don't care if we lose. I care if we had fun doing it, and that's the biggest thing for me. And we lost the other day on something, one of the Asian tours. Did it make an ounce of difference? No. Did we have fun losing? Of course we did, because we had fun. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. And, you know, we didn't pick a team that was all OP pros. We had a couple of notable players in there, but we had 40%ers and everything. Because the idea is include everybody. I've said before, this game is not elitist. And I'm not going to pick tournament teams that I want to have fun with, that I'm just going to pick them because, okay, we're only going to pick a team because I only want 60% plus. That's not, fuck that, it's not a pro tour. It's just fun. And anybody who wants to join these tours, if you're more than welcome. Seriously, more than welcome. And we'll just have fun. And we'll try and take it semi-seriously, but we have fun.
You're more than welcome if you're subscribed, though.
Oh, absolutely. If you're a subscriber, it's even better, because you're definitely welcome. First come, first serve. But that's what I'm doing. Hello, every, and that's why I do these things. It's because I enjoy it, and I'm trying to show people that you too can enjoy it. It's not all about the grind. It's not all about the win rate. It's not all about all of that. It's about having fun, guys. And I mean, Kerfuffles is in the YouTube chat, and he was absolutely depressed about the game. He was like you, the deal for real. He'd had enough. The MM stinks. You can't win for toffee. Blah blah blah. And we almost forced him to do count-ins with us, and now he's enjoying it again. And that's a bit.
No,
that for me is a massive win. A massive
I
win.
hear you. And that's where I think, Wargaming needs to make some adjustments. And, it could be something as simple as just making game modes into relevant to, or accessible in training rooms.
Exactly.
I'm a big fan of count-ins, and I think that they don't look at that as far as what the community does to keep the game alive with the count-in issue, and I think, like I said, the game modes available in training rooms would go a long way with, the older player base, or the in-game player, or whatever you want to call it,
But I mean, there's a load of things that we do. I mean, I played the other day with Kareem. We did a 2v2 in a training room. We had great fun. We lost, but we had fun doing it.
Oh yeah, we got stacked. By the way, I have an idea for a game.
Okay. Hello, no party without me. How you doing, mate? What's your idea? DM me that idea, because I'd love to. We've got to do it. Seriously, it's about having fun and enjoying it, guys. It's not all about the long grind and the win rate. Seriously, it's about fun and enjoying it. And this is why I do these count-ins, which is why I do these tunes, which is why I do these tournaments. And I love tournaments. That's why I stream them. I absolutely adore the Pro Tours. And I get a front row seat, which is why I stream them.
Talking about counters, are you doing one tonight?
Well, I'm not, because I'm not in a clan. So I haven't been invited, so... But if anybody's doing a tour tonight, then yeah, I'm available. I'll stream it as well.
No, like he's asking about accounting.
Oh, accounting! Yeah, I can do accounting later on tonight. Oh, Station's invited me to a tournament.
Yes, your plan gone.
There we go. No, it's not. I'll always do it afterwards. Plus, the last time I played with Station, half the team didn't turn up.
If someone wants me in my clan, in your clan, please PM me. I'm depressed. Clan
Come here
boss
to
right
Zenith.
Check my notifications. Do what?
No. I don't know.
I haven't got any notifications. What notifications are you talking about? Everyone's having a go at me. I haven't got any notifications.
Just created a clan on NA. There is Zenith as well. NA shits. Easy 90% win rate.
I haven't got any. I haven't got any. Oh, those notifications. Oh, okay. I still can't see any. Ah, it's from Meaty. Yes. So there we go.
Okay.
Right. So. So what else do we want to? What else do we want to talk about? We've sort of killed a lot there. That was good. It was a good discussion. And deal for real. It may sound like I get heated with you, but I'm not. I'm just trying to be forceful.
Yeah, no, this is because if you don't see both sides of the coin and come to a consensus, you can't make things attractive for both sides. It's that simple.
No, but I still seriously believe, and you may agree with me, you may disagree with me, that's your call, but I still seriously believe we are given a choice. And that choice is be free to play with all the inherent hardship that brings, or not. Spend some money. But that's our choice.
Again,
that's our choice.
Is back to, like, I think they just simply need to adjust credit coefficients. And what it is I just think they need to make the game, okay, again, I reiterate, the best way to put it is, I don't want to have to play X tank for a couple days to be able to play Y tank for a couple hours. And that's where it kind of, that's where it's frustrating for me as a player, is the fact that I've put in all the time and effort, I've done the grinds, I've done this, I've done that, whatever, and without simply putting quarters in the machine now is what they're asking.
No, don't get me wrong. I know where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from. All I'm saying is we are given a choice. That's all. And you're right. It's not Wargaming's obligation. It's not our obligation how they work their business. You're right. But on the same token, it's not their obligation on how we then treat their product. If we want to treat it as free to play, that's our choice. If we want to spend some money, that again is our choice. And that's it. It's as simple as that. And I'm a great believer in, despite the fact that we don't get a lot of it anymore, I'm a believer in that we are given this freedom of choice by a lot of things, and that we are also given the freedom to express our views, regardless if we agree with them or not. And those are two fundamental things that we should always have. As long as that freedom of expressing our views, or freedom of speech, whatever you wish to call it, doesn't start degenerating into things like racism, sexism, and any other ism, then everybody's free for their own opinion and their own view, and nobody should ever knock anybody for that. Certainly shouldn't knock anybody down for it. And that's all I have to say on that point. But it's been a great chat.
Oh,
Thank you for that.
Yeah, when are you gonna get about 870 more subs?
When you free-to-play players go out and spread the word. What was it you said about word of mouth? There you go.
Okay. I look forward to that, though. Yes, the big 5K, hopefully soon. Okay, should we try to make a contest or mini, if you will? Are we shooting for New Year's? Can it be achievable before New Year's?
Well, I'll tell you what they're called, vidIQ or whatever they are saying. So there's this analytic that YouTube give you. Well, it's not what YouTube give you. It's what this company called vidIQ does a lot of streaming, a lot of YouTube related creator stuff. And what they're telling me, if I look at the achievements and audits and things, they are saying at the moment I have 4,133, and it says I'm on pace for 5,000 subscribers by the beginning of next year. So it's New Year, they're saying.
That's great.
So, but that competition is still ongoing. So that content is still that competition is still ongoing. So You know, it's not disappeared just yet, and it won't until I hit 5k. So it's not a problem.
What's the website again?
Which website?
The website that gives you the analytics.
vidIQ. You have to, if you've got Google Chrome, you just put it in as an attachment.
vidIQ.
Yeah, just put it as if you've got Chrome, it's an attachment on the Chrome thing. But vidIQ, it's called, and it tells you loads of things. Yeah, vid.
Jack,
It's an extension.
Jack
Yeah.
Road to,
That's what it is.
Jack Road to 1k.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Jack, you can't go in now and alter that, and like, you know.
But it's quite a good program. It tells you a lot of things, Jack. Yeah, vidIQ it is. But Martin Dogger told me about it.
Can you spell it?
VID VIDIQ. vidIQ.
Ah,
There we go.
We got there. Woohoo! So there you go.
I think we're gonna see a coding subbot algorithm implemented here shortly.
No, Shall. Everybody's in. No. Everybody's fine. As long as you're being honest, that's all that matters. Right, and with that, guys, we had 40 people hit, so that's quite good. Quickly, Kathmandu, did I see any subscriptions uptick for being a commentator? Yeah, I do. I do see an uptick when doing the live streams. Yes.
I think you are increasing a lot recently.
Yeah.
Something that I'm quite jealous actually.
Yeah.
You are. You're always jealous if something is good happening, Jack.
I must admit, I mean, by the way, I'm still the only person to have beaten Blitzstig live. Big thumbs up to me. So I got a lot of subscribers from that, to be fair. I did get a lot of subscribers from that. About 400 odd or something like that. So yeah, I got quite a few. Yes, Galactic Tech. I've still got your video, don't worry. Don't worry, download it.
I invite you to meet us.
What, you? Yeah, if you want to join. Oh yeah, you can join. You can join if you want.
So yeah, but yeah, you know, if I get to 5k, I get to 5k. If it happens, fantastic. And eventually it will happen. It may take time, but hey, it'll take time. What does it matter? At the end of the
Actually,
day.
I'm looking at the analytics. Someone searched like jealous enemy moments. And he found my channel.
Yeah, I mean, you know, guys, I'm never going to change. You know this. I'm not going to suddenly start doing clickbait and stuff like that to get subscribers. If people want to subscribe, they can subscribe. I never force anybody to do anything.
I was really looking forward to the dancing unicorn mask and, you know, no t-shirt.
I don't have a unicorn mask. I don't have one of those. I have a lot of Russian and German headgear from World War II, but that's about it, and I don't think I can wear any of those on YouTube.
You can try.
You can try and get demonetized immediately.
Well, I'll be honest. If you start taking your shirt off, I won't know whether to unsub or become a channel member.
It all depends. And with that, guys, those of you on YouTube, thank you for popping in. It's been fantastic to host you as per usual. Kerfuffles, you've really been the only mod on there, so absolutely fantastic work you've done. Matthew was there, but hey. Hey.
I'm still here.
Matthew's still there, but yeah, who's Matthew? Every popped in as well, and he's also a moderator. So again, mods, thank you for doing all the fantastic stuff that you do behind the scenes as the unsung heroes in keeping the chat nice and friendly. So without you guys, it would be a lot harder. Those on Discord, again, it's been great having the discussion. And guys on YouTube, by all means, feel free to jump in and have your say as well. You know, it's open for everybody.
It's for free.
It is. Yeah, it's free. It's free to speak. So guys, don't feel that you can't. Anybody can. And again, it's been great hosting you lot. You've been fantastic. Thank you very, very much for popping by and supporting me as per usual. Because without you, all this would be completely useless. To be fair. And a big, massive, massive thank you to my latest and newest member who became a member at the very start of the stream. Thank you, Robert. Really appreciate it, my friend. We won't let you down. Anyway, with that, I'm going to go. We've been on for a long time. Or 2.5 hours, yeah. Holy hell, yeah. So, is it 2.5 hours or is it 3 hours? I don't know. I can't see now.
Actually,
3 hours or 2.5 hours. There you go. Oof. But it's been a good discussion. Always, always good. And with that, guys, enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and hopefully I'll talk to you all again pretty soon. And yes, if I do a tournament tonight with Stige, after that there will be countings, of course.
Oh, of course, nice.
Of
which
course.
team are you in, Fugit?
I don't know yet.
If you're in a team, let me know. I'm a join.
I'm in Stige's team, I think. I'm going to join his team. I'm going to accept member. So I'm with Baba Booey. The WLV boys.
Well, from the analytics, I'm predicted to gain 1,000 subscribers at Christmas.
There you go. Look, seriously, it's about time you bloody downloaded that program. It's very good, mate.
Yeah. Come on. How do you not have it already?
Right, and with that, guys, I'm going to end now. So thank you very much. And we had 40 people, I think, hit that screen, hit the chat at one stage. So really, that's good. That's the most I've ever had, other than on a bloody tournament live stream. But they're different, obviously.
I just killed someone with the name Jack the Cock.
Oh, my video, my webcam's having an issue, a hissy fit now.
Fugit just got demonetized because of that.
Absolutely. Right. With that,
friendly content.
Thanks a lot, guys. Catch you all soon. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and bye for now.
Bye.
Alright, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.